Love is light that's within me, shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Oh, inside, inside, yeah. Inside, bringing hope and make you feel alright. The promise, the future, and life. Love is light that's within me, shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Oh, inside, inside, yeah. Inside, inside, bringing hope and make you feel alright. Rainbow, the promise, the future, and life. Hello to you. Good evening. Love is light that's within me, shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Oh, inside, inside, yeah. Inside. I hope you guys are good. Good evening. Inside, bringing hope and make you feel alright. Hakim, I see you. Rainbow. Good evening. Well done. The promise, the future, and life. Love is light that's within me, shine to the whole world. I see you, user 4614. Good evening to you. Let the dawn of a new day Kemi Adebayo, how are you? Shereme, how are you? Good evening to you. Inside, yeah. Inside, hello, hello. Inside, help share the live. Thank you, G, for joining. I hope you are good. Happy New Week, everyone. The promise, the future, and life. Love is light that's within me, shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Oh, inside. Hello, hello. Good evening. Inside, yeah. Inside. I see you, Fabio. Thanks for joining. Grace, you are welcome. Good evening to you. And B, welcome to Inside. I see you. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. I trust we are good. Happy Monday to you. It's the start of another week. I know. And this month is gradually like crawling, you know, kind of crawling. Today's day 9 already. I remember it seemed like yesterday I was saying happy new month of September, but you know, it is what it is. Thank you so much for joining, Farman. I see you. Thanks for joining. Can you press down on your screen and help send to as many people to be part of Inside today. Is an interesting topic as usual. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining. Please help share the live. Ugo Chuku, I see you. I hope our day has been good. Yes. We thank God. It's another day. We just bless God. Yeah, I'll be bringing another interesting topic today. Balance. You can see on the screen. Balance. And there's a lot to it. You know. Hi, Tamara. How are you? I'm like, I need to find you single-handedly to invite you today because you always make Insight quite interesting with your views and your submissions. So I hope your day has been good. And how was your weekend as well? Trust has been good. I don't know where this rain is coming from here. Somewhat chilly, but it's all right. Tamara, please help send to your friends to be part of this talk today. Just click down on the screen and you'll see names come up. Just press send to as many people as possible. Nazir, I see you. Budasha, thanks for joining. I hope our day has been good. Busy baby dedication. Oh wow, congratulations. Is it you? Or even if it's not you, congratulations. It was nice. Oh, we thank God. That's good. Well, I wanted to ask, I forgot I'm on live. I was going to say, what's the baby's name? Oh, yours. That's baby 2, if I'm not mistaken. Is that baby 2, Tamara? It was yesterday. Oh, congratulations. Wow, that's good. Baby 1. Oh, the dedication. Okay. Are you just coming out to, you know, the way we do our thing? His name is it Lee or Lay? Short for, oh, God bless. You want to take in my footsteps? I've got 4 boys. Please, we want girls though, so that I can come and carry baby girl. So Lassa, thanks for joining. I see you just finishing work. Okay. Lemuel, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Lemuel, that's an unusual name. Can I ask what does it mean? Because I love to know meanings of names. You need girl next. Yes, indeed. Fingers crossed for you. If possible, 2 girls. Why not? Why not? I remembered ours. You know, we had a first boy. We waited almost 2 years. It means devoted to God. Oh, that's good. That's good. I mean, his name will be a reminder ever for you and your family. I take that. Yeah, we had a first. We waited about almost 2 years. Had a second. It was another boy. I'm like, God, what's happening here? Maybe we need to gather our faith some more. So we waited like almost 6.5 years, and then another boy. I'm like, oh my goodness, what's going on? Before I knew it, another boy. I'm like, okay, Lord, I give up. That's it. That's me done, and that's it. So I'll be waiting for my, my sons to get married and give me granddaughters. So yeah, I know. So I've just decided to give up. Maybe I love my husband too much. That's why I keep having boys. I don't know. But that aside, thank you so much for that chit chat. Very interesting. All the best with the baby. You've gotten a hang of it by now, I'm sure. Well done, mommy. Well done to daddy as well. My love to our handsome baby. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much for sharing that. I really appreciate it. When we keep it real here, people will know that I'm not a robot and, people are not robots. It's good so we can actually listen. So thank you for joining Inside today. Olasukomi, I see you. Brita, thanks for joining. Please, guys, help share this live. Because the topics I bring, there are issues of life we need to talk about. And that's why I've always, brought about this space for us to talk about things, relate it with our lives and make amends. Ify, I see you. Where have you been? Remy, you're welcome. Thanks for joining. Okay, guys, I could chat all evening, but I want to go into the talk so that we have more than enough time to bring you guys up and we can talk about this topic some more. Nehio, I see you. Thanks for joining. Okay. Come in here. What do you mean? Oh, you love coming here. Oh, thank you so much. Oh. Making me blush now. Thank you. Your makeup today is on fleek. Hey, I just put the thing under 5 minutes, Papa. Let's look presentable at least. I'm good, Ify. How are you? Just abandoned me here on the street of TikTok. But it's good to have you anyways. Ravi, thank you so much for joining. So guys, today's topic, I'm fine. I'm doing fine. I hope you're good as well. Black Beauty, welcome in, welcome in. Please help send to as many people as possible to be part of our talk, which I'm going to go into, and then thereafter I'm going to bring us into the box to talk about it some more, share our experiences, our take on it. You're doing good, okay? Ify, that's good to hear. That's what we always want to hear. Agnes, thanks for joining. And then I have I have a different puzzle today, guys. So fingers crossed. It's a funny one, in fact, a very funny one. But we'll wait till after the talk. When things get so heated, I'll just bring the puzzle so we can chill out a bit. Thank you guys so much for sharing the live and liking the live already. Thank you, Ify. Benta, thanks for joining. So the topic today is balance, and we all know balance is an essential principle that governs every aspect, most aspect of our lives. It is a fine line between extremes and helping us maintain a harmony in our personal, professional lives, our relationship, our health, and even our mental and emotional well-being. So without balance, we risk falling into chaos, burnout, or dissatisfaction altogether. Thank you, Ify. So whether we talk about work-life balance, emotional balance, or even physical balance, achieving a sense of equilibrium, is key to a fulfilling life. Too much of anything is bad. We all know that. So there has to be a balance, in everything, or literally everything we do. Look, I see you, Sasha. Thanks for joining. So let's define this balance we're talking about. Let's add some flesh to the topic so we, start gathering our thoughts and what we're going to share with us as well. I see you, Evie. Caps, thanks for joining. So as at its core, balance refers to a state where different elements are equal or in the correct proportions. Lovely picture, but I can't join today as hubby is on holiday and we're spending time together. Oh, I'm blushing. My heart is going bump titty bump for you. Go. Thank you so much. Thank you. I do understand. Say hi to hubby. At least you even popped in to say hi. Thank you so much. Thank you for liking the live. I wish you well. Enjoy the evening. Sing sweet songs to him, or maybe he will sing to you. I don't know. But enjoy each other's company. I mean, why not? Who else would you be, enjoying life with? So well done. Say me hi to hubby as well. So balance is about making sure that various aspects of our lives are attended to without overwhelming one area at the expense of another. Thanks, sis. I appreciate it. Oh, much love, much love. So for example, having too much work without sufficient time to rest can lead to stress and burnout. So gold, you're doing a very good thing. Go and balance life. Go and chill out, chillax with your hobby, please, so that you don't get too stressed or burn out. Please go and relax. Let him massage your feet, or you massage his feet, or whatever you guys do. Just enjoy each other's company. It's very good to put balance in whatever we're doing. But on the other hand, indulging too much we need to balance the talk as well. Indulging too much and neglecting responsibilities can lead to missed opportunities and decreased productivity as well. Hence the balance. Everything has to be balanced. Too much of anything really is bad in a way. So there has to be a balance such that all parts of our lives are equal. So balance is not about equal time allocation to every part of life, but rather ensuring that we give attention to what matters most in the right amount. So this one is personal. It's individual choice, individual decisions, because what's happening with me in my life is not what is happening for you in your life. So whatever balance I have to put in place might not be the balance you need to put in place, and that's why we're individual. So but this topic kind of relates to everybody, to kind of check ourselves to make sure that we're healthy in all aspects of our lives. So there's so many types of balance. I'm going to mention a few. Of course, there are million and one of them, but I'll mention a few. And if you can think of others, you can come in later and share with us as well. So the first one that anybody will readily think of is the work-life balance. The work-life balance. So one of the most commonly discussed form of balance is between work and personal life. We just must go there. In this fast-paced modern society, the pressure to excel, in our careers often lead us to prioritize work over everything else. Tracy, you're welcome. Even at the cost of our health and relationship. Sometimes you find spouses accusing themselves, I know you're married to your work. I know I come second. Or if I don't even come second, your work, then your mobile, or your work and your whatever, So there has to be some sort of balance so that, other aspects of our lives, or especially with our relationship, things can be healthy. There has to be a balance. So achieving work balance means finding ways to meet career goals while also reserving time for family, personal development, hobbies, and relaxation. I see you, Ifeanyi. Thanks for joining. So there's some practical tips we could, look at when you're talking about work-life balance, such as you set clear boundaries between work and personal time. You don't really allow them to encroach into one another. Because sometimes, we set these rules, but we don't go by them. We break it anyhow, and we feel that our spouse or whoever is around us should understand. So we need to set that clear boundary between work and personal time. And then we need to prioritize tasks and delegate when necessary. Some people, they have team members, they can easily delegate work, but they rather want to make sure everything is perfect. They will do 4-man's job. And of course, it's going to take more of your time, more of your energy and all of that. And your spouse is waiting for you at home and you're still stuck at work because you refuse to delegate. So please, let's delegate when necessary at work so that we can have time, for other aspects of our lives. And then we need to make time for hobbies, exercise, and self-care. I remembered a few months back talking about self-care. Some people, I gave an example of someone who's a business guru. He collapsed and they rushed them to the hospital. Getting to the hospital, all the doctors trying to resuscitate them, revive them and all of that. And they managed to. But of course, they had to still be on oxygen for a few hours. And this person was like, where's my phone? The moment they came to it, was like, where's my phone? I missed this meeting. And everybody stared at this person like, do you love your life? Imagine if you had died. This business was to carry on. So we need to be careful. Make time for exercise, self-care, holidays, hobbies, and things like that. We need to balance life. Otherwise, some aspect will really suffer and other aspects, it's just booming. And that, we human, we have so many aspects to us, not just one aspect. Michelle, I see you. Thanks for joining. So we need to make time for all of that. Then again, another type of balance I could talk about is emotional balance. So emotional balance are natural part of life, and this balance involves understanding them and managing them. So emotional balance doesn't mean avoiding negative emotions, but learning how to process them healthily without them, dominating your lives. It means being able to experience joy, sorrow, anger, loss, bad times, good times, the ugly times, and fear without becoming overwhelmed, because all these emotions are part of life. So when you allow one emotion or an event to take the whole of you, your work will suffer, your family will suffer. So there has to be a balance. So we need to process all of these emotions in a balanced way and in a healthy way. So sorrow, anger, fear, they're all emotions we will go through from time to time, but we need to learn to balance that such that it doesn't overwhelm us. Thank you so much, Matthew, for joining. Then practical tips, for balancing emotional balance is Practice mindfulness or meditation to stay grounded. Sometimes you might just need to pause for 5 minutes or 10. Just close your eyes somewhere and breathe in and out. Think about no business, think about nothing. Just be in that space. Clear your mind so that all those emotions can just settle in a way. So you can practice that. You can express your emotions in a healthy way as well, such as journaling or talking to a trusted friend. I think we mentioned journaling, was it last week or the week before in our talk. Sometimes people don't know that is very therapeutic. Whatever's going on for you, you can write it out. If there's no one around to speak to, but if there's anyone around, a trusted friend, not just anybody, because some people, the moment you tell them when you're going through this emotional challenge or whatever, imbalance, they're waiting for you to, it's like they're keeping records for when they would use it to fight you back or something. So you need to be mindful who you talk to when you're having such imbalance. Again, another tip is to develop emotional intelligence by recognizing triggers and learning coping mechanisms. So what triggers you to make you angry. In as much as possible, I try to avoid that. But where it's not avoidable, you have to learn how to cope such that you don't mess yourself up. You need to learn to balance your anger, say be angry but sin not, kind of a thing. It's easier said than done, but trust me, with time you know yourself better. You know what can trigger you, and you need to find ways of coping such that it doesn't mess you up. Then another kind of balance I'll talk about is the physical balance. Yeah, Roger, I see you. Thanks for joining. Please help share this live. Click down on your screen and you see names pop up. Just press send to all of your friends. Let them be part of our talk today. So what do I mean by physical balance? Physical balance is important for both our bodies and well-being. So this refers not only to the literal ability to stand and move, with stability, but also to balance our diet, exercise, and rest. Some of us were like a locomotive train. Just go, you don't stop. You just keep going and going. When it comes to rest, you don't prioritize rest. You don't think, oh, a couple of hours and I'm done. And then you work for 18 hours and you sleep for 2 hours. How is that balanced, guys? No, it's not at all. So this is why I'm bringing our attention to it. We need to balance things. Most adults really are meant to get about 7 to 9 hours of sleep every day, but you and I know I don't want to go there. That's another topic for another day. You and I know, let me ask you, even me, I'm asking myself, when was the last time you slept for 9 hours? Like 9 hours. I'm not saying something that is like 9 hours. When last did you go to bed, say 11 o'clock plus 9, and you woke up 8 in the morning? When was that? Or maybe you go to bed early, like 9 o'clock, and you had to wake up 5 in the morning, but you had a long hour stretch of sleep. We need to balance life. You need to balance everything, with that. Eating balanced diet, having good exercise. Sometimes it's not all the rigorous exercise, but something steady that you're used to doing, every now and then would really help you. And then too much of anything really, whether it's food, inactivity, or exercise, can have negative effect on your body. I've seen some people, they've gone to the gym and they've pulled some muscle here and there and they ended up in hospital. Maybe they were overdoing it, or they've done that rigorous thing for so long they were not paying attention. It wasn't balanced. That's why sometimes when you go to the gym, it's best to speak with someone there so they can recommend what to do and what not to do. And like we say, too much of anything is bad. So practical tips for physical balance will be maintain a balanced diet that is rich in nutrients. Yeah, even, fruits here and there, maybe salad, not all carbs and all of that. You can Google all of these things, make sure you have protein, carbohydrate, fiber, all of those things. Rose, I see you. SM, welcome. Another tip is to incorporate a variety of physical activities that include strength, flexibility and endurance. Some people, they just have their skipping rope, and that's what they do 30 minutes like every other day, and they keep fit. And again, you need to prioritize adequate sleep and rest. This is very important because your brain is working 24/7. It's not resting because you're not sleeping. And instead of you to catch some maybe power naps here and there, you get energy drink to even boost you some more. And then you want a balance. Some people collapse for no reason. And I tell you, it's not that there's no reason, because they say, very young man, very young woman, they just collapse. Why? They're healthy, da da da. But you don't know the stress they've been putting their body through. And one day this body might just collapse on you. We don't want that, do we? So let's put some balance in our physical life, so to say. Then again, another type of balance I'll quickly rush through is mental balance. Mental balance is the ability to handle stress, focus on tasks, and remain resilient in the face of challenges. Challenges will forever come. Imagine just one challenge and we're out. The other one's coming. Who's going to handle that? So we have to have mental balance in our life as well. It involves maintaining a healthy mindset where you neither when you're overly anxious nor completely disengaged from life's challenges. You can't ignore it or ignore them, because sometimes they're beyond your control. And then it happens, you just have to find a way to balance, that mental health with it as well. You cannot ignore it because it's not going to go away. Some things really need you to focus and think, because you have to make some huge decisions. And this is mental stress sometimes for some people. But the more you do this, the more you find ways of balancing things and, thinking right, it kind of helps. And you're not overly anxious about challenges when you're faced with one. So practical tips to facing that will be manage stress through relaxation techniques like deep breathing and yoga. Some people do that. You might feel, for me, that's not my kind of thing. But you know yourself better. All these are just tips I'm giving us. It might work for A, it might not work for B. Rookie Gold, I see you. Thanks for joining. Again, take regular breaks during the day to avoid mental exhaustion. Sometimes it's good to take maybe 5-10 minutes away from your computer, especially you're the type that sits in front of a computer 24/7 working. So it's always good to have breaks in and out here and there to avoid mental exhaustion. Again, another tip will be engage in activities that will stimulate your brain, such as reading or solving puzzles. I love to solve puzzles, and I have this word game that I do. A block of letters, you have to form words, so I just focus on that and not think about anything else. So that kind of helps me relax a bit. You might have to find what is good. Some people like doing solving puzzles, some like all sorts. It could be games here and there, but as long as you're not addicted to it, everything has to be in balance, balanced appropriately, so that you're not giving too much to the game rather than the work as well. So let's just find a way to balance things, every aspect of our life, so that we can be okay. Then this one, I have to put it as well for me and for other people out there, regardless of your faith or what you believe in. I'm going to put another kind of balance that we're talking about, spiritual balance. For me, I just have to put it in this talk today because I know quite a number of people that come on Insight are people of faith, which I quite appreciate. So for many people, spiritual balance is about finding peace and meaning in life, regardless of your religious belief. So that's why I say people of faith, because a lot of people believe in so many things. Sarah, thanks for joining. I see you now. You are welcome. So it means connecting with a sense of purpose or higher power and living in alignment with core values and principle. For me as a believer, I study the word, get more insight about who God wants me to be, what he would have me do, his ways of living life here on earth and things like that. I pray, fast when necessary and all of that. So those are my kind of exercise that I do spiritually to kind of put a balance into my life. When I get so overwhelmed, sometimes all I do is just to go pray. Sometimes all I do is just to go and worship, and I feel some sort of relief. And sometimes I get inspiration about how to resolve a problem or about how to face a particular challenge. So tips about spiritual balance will be dedicate time to spiritual practices such as prayer, meditation, or reflection, and then live according to your values and principle. What does your faith say about your way of life, your values, your principle? So live according to that, so you have peace within you, and life is kind of balanced. And then again, seek a community that shares your spiritual or ethical outlook. I go to church on Sundays. Well, not just on Sundays, on some days as well when we have special programs, and mostly online as well for prayer meetings, Bible study, house fellowship, and things like that. So I get engaged with my community, my faith-based community, and this kind of helps put my life in balance. And sometimes you may have questions about issues in my home church, in the Bible study. These are questions you can ask, and you get even more insight from other people of faith as well, which is quite good. So what are the challenges to maintaining balance? Everything in life comes with its challenges, so we just have to know how to navigate it such that we live a balanced life. So achieving balance isn't easy, I must say. Except we're fooling ourselves. Sometimes it's not easy. It could be very challenging, especially for people who don't have too many supports here and there. So it's not easy, and various factors can throw us off course. So I'm just going to mention a few so we can pay attention. And like I say here on Insight, when we give this talk, it's just for us to kind of self-reflect. How does this affect me? How do I relate with this in my life? I like us to be candid with ourselves. We can lie to everybody, but we can't lie to ourselves. Kingmaker, I see you. Flexi Girl, thanks for joining. So external pressures. Society often glorifies busyness and productivity, pushing individuals to constantly strive for more without considering their mental and physical health. Your limit might just be 60%. My limit is 100%. But because we're in the same environment, we're in the same team, I feel, oh, I need to meet up, I need to do this, and I'm more stressed all the time. And you find me, even making more mistakes, and this is affecting my productivity. But because, all this external pressure, the society and all of that, they're not mindful of each individual as they are in some cases. So we need to be careful how external pressures affect us, not to have a balanced life in some aspects or in some areas of our life. So we need to be mindful of that. Again, technology, constant connectivity can make it hard to separate work from personal life, especially when emails and messages keep coming in after work hours. Some people find they've shut their computer, but their phone is still receiving email popping up. I hate notifications sometimes. I've had to sit down one day and I said to myself, anything I'll get notification for, it has to be important. So I had to shut down a lot of notifications on my phone. Otherwise, everything just popping in. I'm like, seriously, I need a break. So I had to go on my phone setting and like notification. No, some will be banner. It will just flash and go. Okay, I don't want to see it. I see it when it flashes. I've quickly read through and I'm okay. So some people, their computer is short, but their phone is not short. And they keep receiving, oh, that email quickly. And then it's supposed to be at family time or spending time with the family. And all of a sudden, honey, just 1 second, I need to quickly respond to this email, and it's past your office, way past your office hours. You're meant to be at home with your family, or you're meant to be sleeping even, so we need to be careful that all this technology is not, making life imbalanced for us. So be careful after working hours what you do, especially still relating to work or other activities relating to work. Then perfectionism, again, is another challenge. The desire to do everything perfect or perfectly can lead to imbalance, as it creates unrealistic expectations and pressures. I mean, your office is aware you close at 6 or you close at 5, and they'll be sending email at 8 p.m. and they still want you to respond to it. I know maybe one-offs is okay, but some people it's perpetually every single day. And this is supposed to be you're at your dinner and the thing pops up and you have to be 1 second, you get off, and the family, they're trying to eat and have a bonding time, and then you had to go off with this email or a phone call or one thing or another. It could be annoying. How is that balanced? So let's be mindful, especially even you're a worker that is a perfectionist. You want everything to be perfect. By the time you get to work the next day, everything is perfect, and but it doesn't always happen that way. So we need to be careful. So what are the importance of flexibility? Because that's the only way we can embrace balance. We have to be flexible. Balance is not a static goal. Life changes, and so must our approach to balance. Sometimes you might have to prioritize. You might have to put your foot down, like, okay, enough is enough. I'm not doing this right now. This is not the time to do this. I will attend to it tomorrow, and that's it. Put your foot down. Like, don't allow people toss you back and forth, especially some work are so demanding. When you're a single guy or single girl, it's fine. But when you have a family to bond with, to relate with, to live with, it can't all be work, 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 work. And it can't all be family, family, family. Hence the balance. So balance is not a static goal. It's not something like, okay, it's balance. Is it? Tomorrow you may have to adjust again to balance things. Next tomorrow, you might have to adjust again to balance things. So our approach must be flexible in order to have that balance in our life. So at different stages of life, certain priorities may require more attention, and that's okay. So a nursing mother, that's why when a woman gives birth in most parts of the world, they go on maternity leave because they know you need time for that child. I mean, I won't expect you have a baby today and they expect you to bring that baby to office the next day to come and work just because you're the employee or whatever. So you can imagine people go on leave. So I can't imagine my company now giving me time for maternity, and I'm writing them, oh, thank you so much for the gesture, but I don't think I'll be taking maternity leave. I'm fine. I'm going to resume back tomorrow. I just had my baby yesterday, but I'll be back in office tomorrow. What do you think that company will write you back? Are you still in your right mind? Kind of a thing. So yeah, I know that's like extreme case, but I don't know if there's some workaholic women who will do that, who will not take maternity leave just because they want to be at work. I don't think I've heard of that, but who knows? Anything is possible these days. You never can tell. So the key thing is to remain flexible and adaptable, recognizing when adjustments need to be made, and make them and be firm with them. Be firm with them. So I'm trying to rush this so that we can come and talk about this balance in every aspect of our life. What do you reckon when we don't put balance into things? What do you reckon can happen? Because sometimes it may seem like, oh, it's just a subtle topic. But I've had cases where people are not able to balance certain aspects of their lives, and they've lost their marriages, they've lost their family members, they've lost close friends, even colleagues, in their profession and all of that. So we need to talk about it. Let's reason together. Let's put a balance to every aspect of our life so that none of the areas of our life will suffer. So in my conclusion today, balance is crucial. It's crucial for leading a healthy, happy, and meaningful life. It's about prioritizing what is important, managing stress, and nurturing all aspects of our lives, our career, our personal relationship, our physical health, and of course our mental well-being. There has to be a balance. If I'm the type that I'm always sitting in one corner thinking, and then I start having headache, migraine, I start having and then I've not done the work, especially people working from home, you have to be careful. There has to be a balance. Otherwise, too much of anything is bad, and less of whatever too could be bad. So there has to be a balance, an intentional balanced way of living. So while it's not always easy to achieve, being realistic now, striving for balance helps create harmony. Yeah, it will help you create harmony, whether with your business, your family life, and all of that. And of course, gives you a fulfillment in life. I mean, who doesn't want to live a fulfilled life? Imagine maybe your spouse always complaining, hey, you have to pick between me and your work because like ever since this job, I hardly see you. We go out on dates yet or on emails, you're calling the office, da da da. When will you have time for me? We need to learn to prioritize things. Oh, thank you so much, Gosen. Thank you. So balance require constant reflection, adjustments as we go along. Don't say because I adjusted yesterday I can't adjust again to no, I must, no, it doesn't. That's why I talked about flexibility. You have to be flexible. Good evening, God sent. Yeah, I can see him. Good to see you here, Stacy. Welcome. So it requires constant reflection, adjustment, and self-awareness. That's why I said earlier that we're different individuals, different aspects to our different individual lives. What you may need to balance might not be what I need to balance. Mila for Christ, thanks for joining. And what you need to balance, what you need to balance might not be what I need to balance. You know your life. You know how the setup is. You know that you're giving too much to this and this one is being neglected. So there has to be a balance such that, everybody's happy. You're happy that you're balancing things appropriately as well. So it requires a lot of reflection, adjustment, and self-awareness, like I said. But the effort, trust me, the effort is worth it. It is worth it for a life that is both productive and peaceful. Imagine you're supposed to spend time with your spouse or your children and you're like, give me half an hour, I need to quickly dash off to the office to do. In fact, before, from home to office alone is half an hour already, and then whatever it is you have to go and do will probably take your time. And then you're like, and your wife is calling, it's 10, where are you, what are you doing? Just give me 1 minute, I'm just about shutting down now. You just started again. My goodness, when you watch those movies and they're showing things like that, it feels like what's happening here, okay, it can only happen in the movie world or what, but these things are reality, some people's reality. And you find out that because these people are so engrossed in their topic. What is the topic? Good evening. Mila for Christ is on the screen if you can see it. Tamara, thanks so much for the gift. Is balance. Balancing every aspect of our lives. We're not giving too much to work and neglecting our family, or we're giving everything to the family and neglecting our work, or every aspect of our life, our mental well-being, our emotional well-being, and all of that. It has to be balanced appropriately, so that one aspect is not suffering. Imagine a newlywed couple. You're supposed to go on honeymoon and then come back, probably ease back into work so that you can spend time together. And then day 2 honeymoon. Your husband is like, sorry love, I have this conference call, it will just be an hour. Mwah, I love you. You know what, there's wine in the fridge or whatever. And the wife is like, oh, my husband is very hardworking. They're very lovey-dovey honeymoon stage and all of that. And then after honeymoon, you're back. Okay, you start back at work. And then after a while, you book holiday. You plan to go out again. And then the first holiday, you're supposed to go together as a newlywed, because the first 5 years, as far as I'm concerned, is still honeymoon phase. And then you book the holiday 2 weeks to go away. And then your bags are packed. And then your wife comes to say, guess what? There is this business proposal I'm working on, and the stories, the usual story. Unfortunately, I won't be able to. Can we cancel and rebook for another time? Oh, your husband is very understanding. He's like, okay, my dear, I do understand these things. And then you cancel. That's your holiday gone for the year. So all of those things is not balanced. I'm not saying don't put effort at work. You need to put that effort, but are you putting such effort to your relationship? Are you putting such effort in other aspects of your life? That's why we need to balance things, so that one aspect is not enjoying, we're booming in one aspect, and the other aspect we're really suffering, we're way behind on that. And sometimes if care is not taken, this can cause rift, especially in a home or in a relationship. and I've been understanding you've just been work all the time. Where do I fit into this your world? People feel neglected when you don't balance work-life relationship. So we need to be mindful of that. So be self-aware. When you know you're not balancing things, be aware. And if somebody is pointing out to you that you spend so much time doing this, how I wish you could do this, don't just say, oh, what are you talking about? You started again. No, please listen. Because sometimes you might not know. This is like a habit. You might not know you're that type who don't know how to balance things. And then there is somebody who loves you enough to tell you, please listen before you start fighting them off. So we have to put in the effort because it is worth it. Our life, we're supposed to enjoy life, amidst all the challenges of life and all of that. There has to be a balance. Too much anger is not good. If you're not angry, people will take you for granted. So all of those things, so you can imagine, everything has to be balanced in order for us to live a productive and a peaceful life. So that is my talk for today, and I just have 2 questions for us we can start with. But however, I've said quite a number of things. I don't know which angle you want to bring your submission today. So is being extreme a good thing? Is being extreme a good thing at anything at all? And then why do we need to balance in life? Why do we need balance in life? So those are the questions you want to attempt it. Or whilst I was speaking, some ideas or thoughts were coming to you. I'd like to hear from you. Thank you. Let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Oh, thank you, Tamara. Thank you, Godson, for liking the live. Thank you. So that is my talk done for today. Balance isn't a necessity. Do we need balance, really? And is being extreme a good thing? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. What's your take on it? Why do we need balance in life? Wardia, thanks for joining. Alison, thanks for joining. Please send an invite. Let's hear your views about this topic so that we can learn from one another. What's your take on this topic? Do you think, oh, no, whatever comes, we just live life and do things anyhow? Why do we need to put balance? If I put balance, this aspect might suffer even, and all of that. Do you think balance is needed in life? And do you feel being extreme is a good thing? What is your take on that? Send an invite. Let us have a chat tonight. Thank you. Thank you for liking the live. Thank you. Good to see you guys. Welcome. I see Godson. Good evening.
Good evening, Mama. So
How
good
are
to see
you?
you. I'm very fine, ma. Thank God.
Thank you so much for joining. I trust you're
Yes.
good.
And thank you for that wonderful message. Balance. The little I could, when I came in, it was actually powerful, and it's actually what is actually good in life, though.
Yeah, okay.
Balance is everything. It's everything. It's everything in life. Like I was talking to somebody who used to drink alcohol, and the other person who was close to him was like, me, I don't drink alcohol. I was like, the alcohol to me, I can tell you now, based on what I believe, based on my faith, is a bad thing. But definitely, even the mineral, the soft drink, is also a bad thing when you take it too much. The alcohol can cause something, it's a particular sickness to you. Too much of that sugar can also cause diabetes to you. You could see even too much of everything actually is also bad. Just make sure they are balanced. I'm not telling you not to do that, just balance it. It what makes life better. Not I don't smoke, but you are into soft drink. Yeah, it's a good topic, Mama. It's a good topic. I kind of put one or two together, and I am enjoying it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. One time I challenged someone, a friend actually, who used to smoke a lot. They're like chimney. Before it's like they light one with the other, and I'm like, are you not even scared of all these diseases that comes with smoking? And he said, my dear, don't worry, something that will kill somebody. Ah, that was their mindset. That was their response, and it just carried on. I'm like, there's something, but if something will kill somebody, must you fasten the pace or I don't know? And it's like, oh, don't worry. Well, it is well. I do get what you mean. Too much of anything really is bad. And some people, it might be your roommates because you're smoking a lot, they'll be inhaling the smoke. And then the person smoking will not have lung cancer or whatever. Is it partial smokers, they call them, that will now have lung issues. Can you imagine? So even if you don't want to do it for yourself, be mindful of the people around. I don't know where I went. Maybe I went to the shopping mall not too long ago, and somebody was literally smoking like proper cigarette. I smelled the thing. I'm like, oh my God. It's been so long I perceived that cigarette smell, and it just got me thinking as well, because there's all sort now vapor and all of the. I don't do indulge in that, but alternative. You have so many alternatives out there, but at the end of the day, is it doing good to your body? There has to be a balance to whatever we do. So thank you so much, Godsend, for that. Tamara, I'm going to come to you because I'm just going by who is in the box. Thank you so much. Tamara, are you there? Can you speak? If you can.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. How are you today?
I'm all right. Just a bit tired from yesterday.
Oh, God.
So I'm just gonna come in from the place of relationship
Okay.
and work,
Okay.
because balance, it has to be in every aspect of our lives, because everything you're doing in life, you need balance.
Oh, yes, we do.
You can't just say, oh, let me leave this one. Yes, there are sometimes you leave one and do one first, but that doesn't mean that you neglect it forever or you forget about it, because you just need to say, oh, let me go with this one first and then I'll come back to it. Because you have the ones that need urgent attentions and then the other ones that can wait a little while.
Yeah.
So it applies to every area of our lives. But when it comes to relationship, there are sometimes you're in a relationship with a person who wants you to do this and do that. But what about you? Because how you want to feel, how you want people to treat you, how you want someone to sacrifice for you is the same way the other person wants to feel. So you need to just get a balance. But in most cases, people are being very selfish and self-centered that they forget that, oh, this person also would love to be treated this way, even if they don't ask.
Yeah, that's true.
And before you can actually have balance, that balance takes a lot of sacrifice. Everything, yes, you want to go to work. Your job is important because that's how you pay your bills. Now you're in a relationship and your girlfriend or your boyfriend says, oh, let's do this thing today. For example, now you plan a date with your partner or girlfriend, girlfriend or boyfriend, and then everybody's preparing for that day, and then at last minute they say, oh, a colleague of mine got sick, and so they just called me in, so I'm going to cover a shift. So what about me? What about me? Because especially when it comes to marriage, because sometimes I've seen people, when couples prioritize their job more than their relationship and say, oh, I need to go to work, my boss is going to be upset about me if I don't go. If you lose your job today, there are probably a lot of other companies you can go apply for. But then if you lose your relationship over that job, is it really worth it? Especially if it's a good one.
Yeah.
So you need to just find, the two of them are important, but for me, my family will always come first before any kind of job I'll be doing in the future. But for people, because there are some people that they've been alone for so long that they feel so comfortable within themselves that if they even have a person in their life, it's like, it's for the sake of the fact that, oh, I have a person in my life, and they don't really know the value of what they have. So what they had before the person comes into their life become their number one priority. And so if their attention is shifted from that purpose, there's no balance there. And before you know it, even the thing that you think you love most in the world becomes a movement to you. You see your job, you begin to get upset because things are not working the way you expect it to be. That's because you fail to find the balance.
Yeah.
And balance, if two people can actually achieve balance, even if they don't achieve the goals of what they had in mind. It's all about communication. Talk to the person. Look, give them a good reason. And don't make that reason become an habit like, oh, the person is so understanding, so I can take advantage of him or her. Next time, I'll just tell her this and then he'll be okay. No. You need to just make it like, oh, yes, this was really not intentional. And rather than a lifestyle like, oh, no, he's an understanding person, I will just tell him whatever and he or she, whatever they will believe. So it's all about finding the balance in your life to be happy. Because even you, if things in your life are working out well, even you will be very happy.
Of course.
So it's a really vast topic, not just relationship, in our everyday life.
Yeah.
Don't just say, oh, today I'm just going to do. When you wake up in the morning, I mean, I like pre-planning. Like this party I had yesterday, I've been planning it for like a while. I mean, weighing my options. I want to do this. I want to do. And I'm thinking, if I do this one, will it affect this one? Because in this UK, if you have plans of achieving some goals and then you're already on that target. No, at every month you said, oh, I want to probably save this amount of money. And now you want to throw a party. For me personally, I want to throw a party. I'm thinking, is this party really worth it? Why should I do this? Why should I do that? And at the same time, I'm not the only one making this plan. Say, for example, I'm planning this with my husband. And then I'm a party girl. My husband is not. So when it comes to party, I don't mind whatever amount I need to spend to achieve that party, I will go all in. But now we have goals on things we want to do. And then I'm thinking, oh, I love party. I need to sit myself down. Is this party really worth it? Why am I doing it? If I don't do this party, will anything happen? And if I really so want to do it, I need to sit with my husband, give him good reasons as to why I really want to do this thing. Find a balance in it, not just wake up one morning and say, oh, because I'm a party girl and my husband is not, I just want to make a party. No. We sat down, we thought about it, weigh our options like, oh, babe, we can do this, we're good. And that's it. So, but for example, or even probably you have a joint account and you say, oh, my partner is so very understanding, you just go there and do whatever you want.
Yeah. No.
For example, now, as an African girl, I have a family back home. I need to send them money, like my mom, especially. I need to send them money every month. Yes, me and my husband, we keep our finance together and all that. And I also do other things. I have my own money to do other things as well. But just because I have a partner, courtesy, I will always communicate with him. I have never sent my husband more money before. She will even feel like, oh, why are you sending me money? But as an African parent, you need to I need to like make my husband understand, this is how we are brought up, this and that and that. Just find the balance in between. And when they come to understand it with you, you're good to go. Rather than just thinking, no, it's okay, no problem. And then one day, that no problem will become the major problem in your relationship. You'll be so amazed that somebody that you think there's no problem will list out all of the things you've done in the past. And you'll be like, oh, so you have him in mind. No, it's because you didn't really find a balance around anything. There was no communication. You were just doing you.
Yeah,
and that's a very bad thing. Just focusing on you. I think when we don't have balance in our life is when we just focus on us and not involving the person or the people or the things around us.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, that's my little contribution for now.
Thank you. Indeed, wow. It's amazing. You covered relationship aspect, you covered work aspect, extended family aspect, and there's so many aspects to this topic. It's really vast, and we have to, because there's so many aspects of our lives as well that we need to look into. Some people, one of the things I gathered is some people, especially in terms of relationship, maybe they're the type that they, maybe get married when they were much younger, so to say. They're much older, so they are like, their mindset is career, pursue this career, this a career, and now they're married, their brain has not really adjusted, so they still feel they're by themselves living that life, and the partner is almost like afterthought, so fine, it might take a little while to kind of get into balance, so to say, but you have to be intentional, you have to be deliberate. And the fact that there's somebody else in that relationship telling you that you don't spend time with me, you're no longer boyfriend and girlfriend. This is your wife. This is your husband. So the time you used to, you need to deliberately create time for them. Of course, nobody will say don't go to work. Nobody will say you're this, you're that. But then there has to be a balance, which is why we're talking about this today. The amount of effort, energy you put into work. how much of that do you put into that relationship or into that family or whatever it is, you have going on in life? There has to be a balance. Otherwise, your wife will be upset with you. Fine, she might be the most patient person or he the most patient person, but everybody, once you push them to a brick wall, they will fight you back at some point. And we don't want that, really. We don't want that in our relationships. Some people, it's work, 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 work. When they were single, they can sleep at work. In fact, they will do 3 days at a stretch in their office because they have like 4 suits, hung up somewhere in their wardrobe. And, all they do is just go, there's a restroom in their office. In fact, they're living in the office. It's good when you're single, but when you're not in even not even married, when you're in a relationship, I mean, I can't imagine. Okay, you tell your girlfriend or your boyfriend, come see me at work. Maybe in the evening they'll bring Chinese or whatever. You see it, you'll be talking or you'll be working, and of course, because it's a new relationship, they're still not getting the hang of you being a workaholic, And then as time goes on, this person will say, for the last 6 months, this is where we've had dinner. This is where we have our dates. This is where this and that. And you'll be like, oh, come off it. No, it was just the one time. And then you're not even being honest with yourself. And then this person demands that, look, let's go to a restaurant or let's go somewhere and eat out. And you'll be like, oh, you have this deadline for this. Don't worry, next week, sweetheart, next week, And you promise. I'm just trying to paint a scenario to let you know that sometimes, some people may not even know that they're not balancing things, especially where relationship talk is concerned. So this person will be like, I'm not sure this man is ready for a relationship. I'm not sure if this woman is ready for a relationship. Call me when you're ready, because I don't want to have stress when we've not even, started the relationship. So it goes a long way. As I'm speaking, somebody is listening to me and probably identifying with what we're saying. Please adjust, because you don't want to lose maybe the bone of your bone. You don't want to lose that person that's supposed to be your person just because you don't know how to balance work and relationship. So thank you so much for that. Mila, yeah, I'm coming to you now. So let's hear you. Good evening to you. Welcome.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
They say everything has to go with balance, and there is too much of everything. But what is too much of loving someone a crime?
Too much of loving, you will have to define that. What do you mean by too much? Love is love. You have to love someone.
Yes, you have to. There are some people you give them love and they start telling you, this your love is too much now.
Then there has to be a balance. Have you heard them? What are the things that they're saying?
Mm-hmm. So I just want that one is just a question, and let's just keep that one aside. Then I understand that, like what you said, too much of everything is not good. That's why a lot of people are dying. Many people are going through health challenge that because of they are addicted to so many things. You talk about cigarettes, alcohol, and other things. But all I'm saying is that I've seen a man who in my village they say, see, this particular beer you're taking, you should stop taking it. At least be taking 1 bottle or 2 a day. That if you continue taking more than 2 bottles or that, or 1 bottle, it will affect your health. And look at your health condition now. The man said instead of him to stop taking more than what the number, then let him go and rest. You understand? So too much of everything is not bad. But too much of loving, giving attention, doing the right thing, I think to me is not a bad thing. When you love and you care for, just for example, a man who say, I've closed from work now. and I am supposed to be at home by 5 o'clock because my wife knows already when I'm supposed to be at home. So if I am not at home, it's going to be an issue. So let me quickly go home and rest. And look at some people. I've seen so many guys, those who are addicted to football, watching of football and so on and so on. They lost their relationship in the name because of what? They say, I love football than my relationship.
They're not ready.
I've seen that. The lady say, if maybe I've seen a lady who would say that her boyfriend, whom they are planning to marry, the only weak point he has is every time when he's supposed to be at home, he'll say he's going to watch match. He's going to watch match and this and that thing has caused him to lose that relationship. So he prefer, if for example, if she get married to that man, that marriage will not work. There will be problem every time. So you can't say you love football than your family.
No.
You understand? So there is everything like me. I've seen so many guys, they smoke, they do whatever they like all those things. But at the end of the day, they will start crying that if I have known, I would have accepted this advice my friends are giving to me. Now look at what this thing I am addicted to has caused to my head and so on and so on. So we have to get to a extent where we say, this thing is okay. Let me limit myself in doing this thing so that it will not cause me problem in the future or make me lose my family or thereabout. Like, yes, you give your friend, your partner attention. Make sure that he or she, it's okay with you, and just like that. So what I'm saying is that I accept the fact that everything has to be balanced. Everything has to be balanced. But there is what Tamara said. I would disagree with you on that one. That's my own opinion.
Let's hear it.
Tamara said she's ready to lose. Let me just use that word. Like she's ready to lose her work for her to make things okay in her relationship. Thank God you're a woman, but remember, if we men, remember where we are coming from.
Yeah.
A man who is not working, for that man to see a genuine relationship is a problem. So what I would say is that my work should be my work should be more important to me. Then at second, my family, because it's from the work I am getting paid. I am being paid. So what matters is that am I doing the right thing?
Okay.
Am I taking good care of my family? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do? Like, for example, that is not love. Okay. So am I doing the right thing I'm supposed to do? Be at home at the same time, pay your your children's school fees, make sure that everyone is comfortable. Because we are not another world where you say you went to, like, you travel out of the country where you can, maybe by luckily you have a woman that will say, come, let's be together. Whether you're working or not, let's start from somewhere. I will know how to assist you, provided you're a good man or But in Nigeria, whether you are good or not, that man, except God sent you an angel who will say, I will love this man because he gets something doing. You understand? So I think that area where we are coming from, we should take our job first as the number one, because that job pays. But I am not saying that when you're taking your job so serious, as the first thing to do, you should not take good care of your family. You should not be there or whatever. But at the same time,
that's the balance we're talking about, Mila, for Christ. That is the balance. For the fact that you're putting that balance does not mean you
I
can't.
even have a question for Mila. Mila, I don't
Yes.
disagree with you. That's your own opinion. I mean, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. But if today something happened to your job, and then you lose your job, for example, I mean, just for example, you lose your
Yeah.
job, will you still have your family, or your family is going to leave you because you don't have a job?
I've seen where a guy lost his job. The wife always spent after. Let me tell you, this is something that is happening mainly in Africa.
It's because the wife was with the man because of the job and not because she loves the man.
That's what I'm saying now. And before the man got married to her, he never knew that maybe this woman is it's because of the job. But because he was doing something, that was when the lady accepted him. But when they lost the job, I've seen it so many times.
Then
And
you should
it's
be
still
grateful you
happening.
lost the job, because that brings out the true color of the person he's with.
Exactly, but yeah, what you say is true. But at the same time, we know Nigeria, is
Okay,
your
let me ask another question. Yeah. So today, if
yes.
something happened and then the man that is carrying his job in his head and his family is coming second, if maybe he had an accident or something, not his fault, and maybe the company moved or something, he becomes jobless, or let's say he had an accident and on his bedside, do you think the company will stop working because he had an accident and he's not able to come to
If
work?
the company will not stop, even that day he had
And who is
accident,
going to be by his
there is
bedside
replacement
at that
waiting.
point?
Definitely not the company.
Okay.
That day he has that accident, there is a replacement waiting for him. Maybe they can say, okay, 3 months time, if you are not back, you understand? Let this person be acting on your behalf. But after 3 months, if you have not recovered, you just go on your way. And you understand? And so I understand Tamara, try to understand me. I know in normal sense, your family should be the first. Your
Priority.
family is the number one, is your number one and your last. You understand? But because of where we are coming from, how many of our Nigerian, I've seen a rich guy in my community, he refused to get married because he said, if he don't know if this lady is coming because of the money, or if this lady is coming as, yes, true love. Because of that's what mainly Nigerians are going through. That's what we are going through. That's what we are passing through. So that's why how many of us here, there are some ladies that when you start telling them you are interested in them, what kind of job do you do? That's the number one thing they will ask you.
Wow.
It takes the grace of God for someone to just say, okay, this is okay, I accept you, whether you're working or not. I know that Sunday, except you are a lazy man, and I will give you a chance. If you are a lazy person, I will leave you. You understand? So that's what I'm trying to say. Our side is not like that. It's not like the Western where you can just go out, you have it there. The man will say, if you're working, the lady will say, let's work together. You're working and contributing your contribution. But come to Nigeria, and are you not the one telling them? It's because of your so godly and you have that kind of mind, that spirit that, okay, you were saying, you send to your family. You do send for your family. Is it every woman in our side that will do such thing? The answer is no.
Okay.
Yes,
The
it
answer
answers.
is
Not
no.
every woman, but most women will do it. I didn't just start doing
I know.
that for my mom
It takes
just because I'm here. I have been
yes,
doing that since I was in
yes,
Nigeria, and not just for my
yes.
mom, also for my aunt. I do. It's not because they don't have, but I'm just like, for me, I grew up with my aunt here, and she didn't give birth until she was 45 years old. She had her first twin, and then now she's blessed with
Oh, my fellow twins.
6 kids. But the thing is, we were a lot of we were like about 10 growing up. She brought in children from her sisters, and we grew up with her. And
Yeah,
she gave me the best childhood I could dream of, I could think of. I don't think I would have even had that if I was with my mom. Yeah, I'm grateful my
exactly.
mom gave birth to me, but my aunt raised me. So I'm lucky to have two moms. And from that time, like since God knows, from my university days, every year on my auntie's birthday, I'm always celebrating my auntie's birthday. For I took it upon myself that I'm always going to do that. And in December, every December also, I send them money. It's not because I'm here. That's what I'm doing. I'm just a grateful person. Like,
Yeah,
oh, I
yeah,
appreciate
because
the fact that they are doing this, they are doing that. So even
Yes.
while I was back home in Nigeria, if I'm in a relationship and a man does not prioritize the relationship we get because I put in my all, yeah, we all know that there are
Exactly.
some people that you know that this person is not worth my sacrifice, it's not worth the time. I can't. Yeah, we even friends as friends, we have friends that if this friend calls you on the phone, even in the middle of the night, you go out running to that friend. And there's a friend that will call you in broad daylight to tell that friend, look, I'm busy, even when you are very jobless, just
Yeah.
because they are not worth your time. So anything that is worth doing is worth doing well, especially when it comes to family, because you just said that, oh, your work will always come first. That's personal statement you just made. So I don't know how bad it's going to be for you to date a person to the point you are getting married to them. I don't know what sacrificing that job for, because job, you can always get a job. Yes, Nigeria is hard, things are hard. But if
See,
you're working to an extent and you know that this is your family, when I say this is your family, that's your identity. This is who you are. The people that are going to be by your side in good, in bad days. Yes, some people in bad days, you will not see them. We know that.
Of course.
But that's because you fail to realize that that person is not with you because they actually love you, but rather they are with you because of what you are able to do for them or what they are able to gain from you. So once that thing is gone, that they show the true color of nature of that person comes out. But we're talking about people who genuinely love you. For example, a man that doesn't have money before, he was struggling with this girl, they got married and everything is going well. Now he has job, company offer, and everything. And then something really important is coming up in his wife, like to the point because of job, he forget probably his wife's birthday. Yeah, those days can come up overwhelming. But that's why we have reminders to remind us that, oh, so days is coming, and you plan towards it. Not, oh, damn, after all, he's my husband, after all, he's my wife, he's not going anywhere. There'll be
yeah,
no need.
yeah.
There'll be another year. How sure are you that that person in your life will see the next year with you? So every moment we
Exactly.
spend with the people we love, we should
We
treasure
love,
them
yeah.
with balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Thank
I agree with
you. Thank you. So I'm coming to you, God sent. There was something Mila for Christ said, or a question you asked. I don't want us to forget it, because the question that often would come up in and out. I don't want us to just brush it aside. That question you asked before you gave your submission about loving too much. There's something called a very thin line. Some people, they cross the boundary of love to obsession. Okay, so they're obsessed with the so-called person they love to the point that they're suffocating them. That is not love. So we need to, that's why I said you have to define it. So if somebody is saying that you're suffocating me, not that I know you don't love me, you're suffocating me, or that maybe they're using a more subtle word like this, your love is too much, or something like that. You need to soft pedal. It's good you want to show this person you love them, but if care is not taken, you will cross that line into being obsessive. You want to be there when they're sitting. You want to be there when they're standing. You're just in there. You know, even the fact that you're couples, you're supposed to be two, have become one. There are boundaries even with that, within that relationship. If you get me, because some people have let me, maybe I should use, there was a time when I was much younger, before I even met my husband, there was a man that I met through my godfather. He introduced us. I'm like, okay, we're in the media world or whatever together. And I'm like, nice to meet you, nice to meet you. From nowhere, this person will invite themselves to my office. From nowhere, before I turned, they'll say he left a gift. And the most I've spoken to this person is, hello, how are you? Do you understand? And
yeah.
maybe by the time I get to the office, I'll see this big, massive handmade card. Like, I'm like, hey, what about me? I'm sorry to use vernacular. I said, I'm like, who's this? What is this? It was scary. To the point I went to school, this person will be by the gate waiting. Do you understand? And he was telling my godfather he's in love with me. And he has not said anything to me. And he was doing all of this. I felt that was just too much. He was literally suffocating
Maybe
me.
maybe he was scared.
I mean, that
He
wasn't
was not
balanced. That
he was
wasn't a
scared to approach
balanced
you.
thing at all. And if you want to do that, at least approach the girl to even say I like you. We've not talked to
Yes.
anything like that. So he was one of the first guy that ever scared me when you're talking about young people meeting young people and what have you. I had to go to my godfather with tears. I said, because I don't know how I can explain this to you. Help me warn this your boy that I'm not interested. And what's the word? It was stalking me as far as I was concerned. It wasn't funny. How is that balanced? And here is me looking at, because we met through my godfather, we can just be friends, people of like minds, what have you. But he just went on that tangent and he feels he's in love with me, but it was no.
And he never approached you now.
I mean, you can imagine. So imagine such a situation. Would I not say, oh, because he's showing this, doing that, by force, I must be in a relationship with this person. At that time, I was focused on school. I just wanted to go to school and, I was working and I was in school and all of that. It was the least on my mind. And the fact that we met, we had not, I don't know. Hey, I don't know if you guys understand what I'm trying to say. I'm just meeting you for Christ. Hello, how are you? Okay, see you later. Maybe once in a while we can bump into each other in the studio, and it wasn't even working in our office. And then the next thing I'm seeing cards, I'm seeing this, I'm like, what, where, from who, how? So
he's already married
too much, there is a thin line that if you cross it, then it's no longer balanced. Even in your spouse at home. Everything. Who are you talking to? Everything. This is because I love you. You will fight in that relationship. It will not work. It will not work. Things has to be balanced. But the fact that two has become one does not mean you should suffocate one another. You want to know you're in this place, you're this, they can't turn this way, they can't do this. No, it's crossing the line. Okay, not another. So God sent. You said you wanted to say something. Please, let's hear from you. Thank you so much, Mila, for coming.
All right, thank you, Mama. Actually, you already explained. It was even majorly that question as well, and Mila for Christ have also submitted. And he said a lot of things after Tamara explained, and he said, yes, you have submitted, you have understand everything, which I wanted to make him understand. He made a statement as well, and something like in a normal sense. You understand? He knows the actual truth, but he was like in Africa, in Nigeria, precisely where we are now. Some people would prefer their work, and everything I've been talking since, everything he was talking about, still just towards the balancing.
Yeah.
And you have already explained that of loving too much to him. I wanted to also explain that one, because what the person might be explaining might be obsession, because people think this obsession is love. You just want to kill the person. You every minute you won't even give the person breathing space to even do what he or she is doing, all in the name of you are trying to let the person know I love you. There are better way to express love, not just to choke the person. You understand? I know everything is balanced, especially when it comes to this marriage of a thing. That's where you have to understand this balancing of it. Most people have missed this balancing because the woman you got married to is coming from a family.
Oh, yes.
You as well, you are coming from a family. You must sit yourself down and think about these things. Your wife is very close to his family, her family, before she got married to you. And the wife should also understand this man is coming from somewhere. He have people they grew up together before the man became your husband. You have to balance this thing, because this thing I've done a lot of counseling concerning this balancing. The brother, the reason, no, this thing takes time. These are people he grew up with. These are people she grew up with. This is her father. This is his father. You also understand that these things take time. He's coming from somewhere. She's coming from somewhere. You got to balance the love. You have to balance things. Know that, yes, this one, yes, intention is something you do deliberately. It's not something that just come on its own. It's a deliberate act for peace to reign and for love to remain in their home. And he was saying something about I wanted to use my life to give him an example. He was like, in Africa, yes, not possible. He's no longer here. I would have let him know it's possible. When I met my wife, I was
back, so maybe he had to do something.
Yeah. When I met my wife, I wasn't working.
Wow.
I was not working.
Thank you.
When I met my wife, As a matter of when I met my wife, I was not even having a roof over my head. I was still staying with my spiritual father. I was still staying with my spiritual father's house when I approached her at first. Then we became friends. We were friends for a very long time. Then before we started dating, even at that, she knew She knew then I wasn't a lazy person. I was trying to make top with life. Though, based on the family background where I came out from, we were not born with silver spoon, but we tried to decide to give our children golden spoon. Yeah, she knew I wasn't lazy, but there was nothing to show. There was no evidence. Like where I am now, years ago when I wasn't married, there was no evidence of it. It wasn't showing. But she stood by me by the grace of God. And by the grace of God, she's enjoying it and she will continue to enjoy it. I just wanted that bros and every other person to know that no, it's not actually the money first, the relationship. You balance things, you put things together. No matter what you are doing, no matter how busy you are, how demanding your job is, your family have to be there. So many children have missed it because their parents refuse to be there for them. I've seen a lot. And wife, husband issues because the man is not there. I was counseling a lady who took another man to be her bestie, and you have a husband.
No.
Along the line, something happened. The bestie have to sleep with the woman. Bestie, he enter another level. Now we're trying to settle. I knew about the case, but at the end, we discovered that the man was not having time for the woman.
Hey.
He will go to work without even calling the wife, and this man was filling in the space.
Can you imagine?
Because the man could not balance his family and his work. And bestie have to take the space of the man. I'm not saying the woman was right. The man was wrong. Very, very wrong. But there was a role the man was supposed to play.
Yeah.
You give room for devil to come in when you don't balance these things.
Yeah.
And this same thing also happened to Christians that are useless. Now, let me not use that word. God forgive me. So-called prayer Christian decide to spend all their life inside the church, thinking that manners will fall from heaven. They are praying night and day. In the morning, they are in church. In the afternoon, they are there. In the evening, they are there. Not knowing that you have to balance this thing. I'm a Christian. I love God to the core. I'm a church boy. There is not, that's how I can explain who I am in God. I'm a church boy. When it comes to God, I can do anything. But that should not make me to be useless.
Exactly.
My wife have to eat. There have to be food in the house. I have to take care of my mom. My niece, my nephew, they are there.
Yeah.
I have to take care of them. But I have to understand that there are times for everything. There is time to go to church, and there is time to also work. There is time you have to create for your wife.
Yeah.
When you have children, there is time you have to create for those children. When you are able, it's not actually easy, but like you said, this is a deliberate something.
Yeah.
To make your home and your life successful, it's a deliberate act.
Very much.
Most time you see these big men, you feel they are busy. When you see them, they have time for their children. They have time for their wife. When you don't do this, you discover that there will be a problem. That's why I was enjoying the topic. This is what most people need to come and hear. Because this is actually what is causing problem in many homes.
Yeah.
Even in Christian homes. You see the man, you forgot that you have a wife at home. You will be in the office from morning till night, till day, till everything is all about money. Some people will feel, I've given my wife money, I've given them this, I've given them that. No, they also need you.
Not about money alone. Money alone cannot.
Not money alone. This woman might be a virtuous woman, but she has blood flowing in her vein. Yeah, she has blood. She has blood flowing in her vein. Also create time. Create time for that woman. Create time for those children. Create time for other things. God is not telling you to just come and spend the rest of your life in his house. There are times you also go out to do your own personal things.
Of course.
Thank you so much, ma, for the topic. I am learning even as I'm talking because I'm still very young and we are still growing our marriage and God will keep helping us. Yeah, we know that.
Thank you so much. Certain things are it sounds very little, but when we don't do them, it creates a bigger problem. There has to be balance in what we do. And I'm grateful that at least I can call you Pastor God sent, And sometimes even pastors, they get so engrossed with the congregation. They're there, they're praying, fasting and all. And Mommy P, as they call them, is waiting at home. Is Pastor going to come? Midnight, Pastor is still praying for some people. And these people will leave Pastor in that office and go home. Tamara, oh, okay, yeah, I'm coming to you, just to kind of buttress what God sent just, said to us. It's very important. If there is no balance, there will be issues. And I think, Na also said, when you create gaps in your relationship and neglect your relationship, it will not end well. It's just we're humans. We're human. There's only so much we can take. Thank you for that submission as well. So Tamara, I think today is Insight with Tamaras. Another Tamara is here. Tamara, how are you? You're welcome to Insight.
Hi, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Good evening, everyone.
Let's hear from you tonight. Oh, please don't tell me network with network issues. Tamara, we're listening.
Okay, I want to say one my thought here is hear me now. Okay, so about saying most African parents they missed it, like they missed it all very wrong because most times the way they treat us, like some information they're meant to give to us, just come out say. When I was much younger, my mom would always say that when people touched you, you're going to get pregnant. Okay, and I know a lot of people had same challenge while growing up. So I think if our parents do well, like
Oh, I think we're losing you somehow. Tamara, your network is a bit fluctuating. Can you hear me, Tamara? Yeah, your network is breaking. Oh, I really want to hear that parent perspective, to be honest with you. I don't know, maybe if you drop off and come back in, maybe it would be better. If you can hear me, Tamara, if you come back.
I know someone that's
Okay.
that
You're breaking. I can see one red bar is fluctuating. Tamara, if you're speaking, I can't hear you. Yeah, okay. So hopefully she'll come back. Yeah. This thing called balance is very crucial. It's very crucial. Even if you're a single person, you're working, you cannot, even if you're a workaholic, at some point you have to close that computer, go home and rest for your own health's sake. You cannot work 24/7 because you have 24/7. As a single person, you need to set boundaries. You can do overtime maybe every now and again, but even at that, you need to close and go home. Because I'm sure in your contract, it doesn't say you have to work 24/7. Is either you're over pushing it or is the company that's over pushing it? There is no balance. So you can now set the balance because it will tell on your body. Sit with your boss. I love my work. I put in extra time here and there, but I cannot be closing 10 o'clock every night. 10 o'clock every night instead of 5 o'clock. Haba. And they're not going to pay you extra. You're not going to get extra days for holiday. So what are we talking about? How is that balanced? So if you sit down those 5 hours every single day, if you had a second job and is paying you, at least you know you're earning. And then you go and treat yourself better. Eat good food and all of that. I'm not even encouraging that. I'm just saying. So if you're doing five extra hours every day, because you're a workaholic and you're not getting paid for it, please think twice about it. That is not balance at all. Now, I say balance is needed in all aspects of life to have a meaningful life. Of course, definitely. So let me come to you now. Now, Coco, I was waiting for Tamara. Hopefully she was okay. Send an invite. So let's hear you. I'm going to bring the puzzle before I forget the puzzle. You see what I mean? The talk gets so intense, so we need to wind down a bit. Hopefully her network is okay. Now, Coco, I'm gonna have to come to you. So the boundaries you can't set, the balance you can't set as a single will become a problem when you're married. Oh, thank you, Gosen, for that statement. Very true. Now, are you there? Good evening to you.
Yeah, I'm here. Good evening. You can hear me?
Yes, I can. You're welcome to Insight.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, the topic about balance is something that I share with everybody I meet in my life because it's something that I discovered early in my life because I went through an experience where I would say I rushed too much in life doing so much that sickness befell me and I had to stop and take time out to kind of rethink about how I want to live the rest of my life. And I realized that, sometimes when we're young, we think we've got, energy and everything, and we abuse our bodies. And then, for me, I thank God for that experience earlier on because it allowed me to kind of stop, take some time out, reflect on things, and I've learned those skills that we really have to have that balance because anything you do too much is not good for you. Everything in moderation, sometimes even in our Christian walk, sometimes we pray, sometimes we worship, sometimes we read the word. It's all a mixture of things. We have to spend time doing different things. So when you do one way too much, it's not going to have a positive effect in the end, because as human beings we get bored anyway, we get fatigue, so to keep even a relationship, to keep things going, you have to spice things up, you have to change things, you have to create a new experience. If you keep doing the same thing, saying the same thing, eating the same thing, you get fed up. So for me, I think self-awareness is one of the things you have to do. You have to take yourself out and sometimes have a moment. I do every month. I take myself out, I sit and I say, okay, how are things going? What do I need to change? What do I need to improve? What can I cut back on? What challenges can I set myself? And that goes aspect with my family, my kids, our work, my relationship, everything. It affects everything, even with finances, everything. And I think once you have that kind of key mindset, it helps you to then plan things and you don't feel like your life is taking you out of control. It actually gives you some control back in life when you do that as well. Yeah. So yeah, definitely is a very good topic. And I always, like I said, I'm always constantly my children. I install that in them. I install that in anybody I meet. It's one of the discussions I have with friends. I tell them, you're working too much. You need to, and I think in our community, that's the thing. Working is a big issue, especially with men. They feel like, if I'm working hard and I'm providing money, that should be enough, but it's never enough because you need to have time with your family. You need to bond with the children. There's so much that a wife can give in terms of bringing up a family. A husband's way of thinking and what God has installed into him to give to the children, the wife cannot do that.
No.
What the head can do, the neck cannot do. There's different perspective. What the head can see, the neck cannot see. So we need the togetherness of both to kind of create that environment that is good for everybody. And I think that's the problem that is happening in community, in society, that relationships are breaking down because everybody is no longer seeing the wholeness and awesomeness of what God wants us to do. We need to work together. I have this issue with my husband before when I used to say to him, you're working too much. We need to start spending more time doing different things. And it was a big issue because he could not understand what I was trying to say. But I knew what I was saying had benefit for him and had benefit for the whole family. And I just simply prayed and left it in God's hand and said, God, you know what? I have tried to talk to him. I'm leaving in your hand. You find a way to speak to him because you are the ultimate head. So I'm leaving in your hand. I have done what you've set me to do. And I'm trying to get him to slow down, So it's something that we all need, even with children, They have to learn that thing. And I think if we installed that in them earlier, we're going to have a good generation of people that are growing up that have that balance in life, and are able to self-reflect and motivate themselves and change. Yeah.
Thank you.
So thank you.
For that. has to be a balance. There has to be a balance. Too much, maybe because I'm a Libra-minded person born in October, I don't know. I love it when we balance things. You find out that you get more result. But when it's this way, it's not balanced, is it? It will create a lot of problems. It will create a lot of chaos. Whether in your marriage relationship, your family relationship, if there's no balance, if it will create problem. It's just a matter of time. So we need to be consciously aware. That's why we need to take stock of our lives, whether you're in a relationship, you're working, you have a business, whatever it is. Are you creating time for holidays? Are you creating time for breaks? Are you putting in the effort that is needed as at work as well? Are you taking that time off? Are you refreshing? Are you doing? There's a lot of things we can sit down and evaluate and see. Are we, on track with things? And that's why I talked about being flexible. You have to learn to be flexible. If you're too rigid, there's going to be issues. If you're too soft, even, there will be issues. You just need the right amount of flexibility, right amount of balance to enjoy life, and no matter the amount of understanding you have, no matter the understanding of the amount of patience you have, you might just get to your break point when somebody else is not balancing things on your behalf. Because both of you, especially in a marriage relationship, you have to do that. And like I was mentioning of a single person who is a workaholic, some bosses would have to officially put some workers on holiday. Like they don't want to see you for the next 2 weeks. Don't come back to this office. Just because they know that for the past 5 years, they've checked the records. This person has not gone on holiday. How? And the holiday keeps piling. It's overpiled that no, even the company is like, we are recommending, please go off. We don't even want you on this premise. If you don't want to lose your, please go off. Anywhere you want to go, go, but don't come to this office. Should it be that bad? So we need to be mindful. Whatever we're doing in life, there has to be a balance. Otherwise, things will suffer. Life itself will suffer as a whole, whether relationship, whether work, whether family, whether personal business, whatever it is. So thank you so much for that contribution. I hope Tamara can come now so we can hear her. I don't know, I keep sending invites. Somebody's asking to bring them up, but I don't know, it keeps dropping them. Maybe it's network issues. So Tamara is still connecting. So okay, whilst we're waiting for her, I nearly forgot my puzzle for today. It's a very interesting one. Manager, you're off. My moderators, if you're here, please do this. It's a very interesting one. Manager, you're off. My moderators, if you're here, please. Okay, Tamara, if you just pause for a second, if you just mute for 1 second, let me put the puzzle out, and hopefully your network is steady and we can hear from you. So my puzzle, guys, for today, just to kind of chill out a little bit because of the intensity of where this balance talk is taking us to. My puzzle is, manager, please help type this. Why did the disciples drive a Honda? Why did the disciples, for people who don't know, disciples are men with Jesus in the Bible, and I'm sure a lot of people know who a disciple is. But the puzzle now is, why did the disciples drive a Honda? There's a reason why they drove a Honda. If you know the reason why, if you're in the box, you want to attempt, please feel free. Otherwise, if you're there, on the chat, just type it in there, but I have to give you your gift, so you might still have to come into the box. Why did the disciples drive a Honda? You know what the car Honda is. There's a reason why. So if you know the answer, please feel free. Tamara, please unmute and let us hear you. What is your talk? You were saying something about parents. I didn't really get you. So please, if you can repeat that so we don't miss the essence of what you were trying to say before. Welcome back.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, for now we can. Hopefully it stays that way. Yes. Oh.
Sorry, my
Okay, maybe you should speak and let's see whether it will stay or not. If not, You might have to help me. You can type and I'll have to read it. I know it takes forever to type. Yeah. Thank you.
Hello, hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Is it better?
Yeah. It sounds so.
Is it okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay. So what I want to say is, our parents, like, when you talk about balance, most of our African parents, there's no balance in our relationship with our parents. So I'm going to say that they try to like this us like that when an African parent is trying to discipline their children, and you discipline and you forget about the fact that they are going outside to mix up with other kids, and all this discipline affects our person, affects our self-confidence, affects how we relate outside with every other person. So and I let me say, for me personally, I have an issue with that, because there's a
Ah,
way
no.
you have mindset and mentality, and it affects it. Is the network okay?
Not really, but maybe you
Is
should
it
just carry on. I don't want to interfere.
Oh Lord. Okay, is it fine now?
Yeah, go on, go on. Fingers crossed.
Okay, so um you know you're training a child to become somebody in life, but at the same time you're damaging, you're destroying the child, because I don't know, I'm trying to you find the right words to use to explain what I want to say. There are some parents that when their child go out of track, there's a way they balance it. There's a way they'll make you understand why they discipline you. There's a way they'll make you understand you're not supposed to do this thing. But why some parents who like they will discipline to the core that you wondering if this is actually your parents, like if this is person is a person that actually gave birth to you. So I think as parents, that just we that are like upcoming parents, someone like me that is about to, get a balance. I think we are going to do better, because then our parents didn't really do better for us. Like me personally, I didn't really get that kind of parental and child, maybe mother and child or father and child relationship. So I think we should also throw more light on it and see how it could work, because having a relationship with your child is that's just the best thing any parents could have, because we have a lot of children outside there that does not even probably have parents or aunties or uncles to like oversee them, and they are making some wrong steps that are even affecting them today and all. But we that have parents, I think that we should do more, since our parents already made the mistake of the way they like give us discipline while growing up. So with the new generation parents, I think we should see into it and try to be better than our own parents. Yes, our parents did their best. Maybe probably that's the knowledge they have at that time to to train us. But I'm going to say, me personally, it affects even till today. It just take the grace of God that I'm just trying to you know I'm just trying to. So we should just try and create that balance of like bringing up our children. Like I've already told myself what I went through. My children is young. My children won't go through it at all, because it was not a funny. It wasn't funny at all. So I think if one or two persons might have more light to say about what I'll say, because it's a burden to me. That's why I have to bring this. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Trust me, it's not just you alone. I think, how do I put it now? I understand perfectly well what you're saying. An example is when your children are old enough to go to the university. I think you mentioned before the thing cut out before. You tell your child, especially the female child, don't go and be chasing boys. If they touch you like this, you get pregnant. If they hug you, you get pregnant, and all of that. You dissuade them. You almost make them hate the opposite sex just because you want to put that fear in them so they don't go and carry pregnancy whilst in uni. And then guess what? This so-called parent, the moment you graduate and you're back home, or they'll be like, so where is your husband to be? And I'm like, husband to be from where? When you told me not to get involved with boys, and I was hearing your voice in my head. Anytime a guy comes to say hello, babe, you turn like, no, I don't want. And now you finish uni, they're expecting you to bring a man home. I'll be like, does the man come with a certificate? Because I don't understand. They put us in such an awkward situation. Maybe this is Tamara's way of shouting out, and my way, of course, shouting out to parents out there. Look, the way we were brought up with those kind of imbalanced way of life, we can't afford to put that in our Gen Zs now, or the Alpha coming, Gen Alpha coming. They will rebel. They will use, back in Africa, they use what I call koboko. I don't know if you know koboko, like a whip. It was okay. I guess it was way of disciplining and all of that. But you and I know that, especially in this part of the world, you can't do that. Even in so-called Africa now, there's a limit to which you can do that. So we have to create that balance for our children, because if not, like you said, by the grace of God, that God has helped us out of that mindset. Because I can't imagine bringing up my children the way I was brought up. They will be broken more than me as well, that kind of a thing. Sometimes they push me, sometimes they push me and I say, you guys are lucky we're not in Africa, I just say that. Or you say certain things, you say, Mom, that's in Africa, this is not here. I say, how I wish we were in Africa, But then you and I know that we have to create a balance for them. You can't, certain things we went through as a child growing up, you can't even imagine bringing up your children that way, because there's a lot now. There's a lot of exposure now. There's a lot of things. Imagine your child always running away from the house just because they can't understand why my mom or my dad will say, don't do this, but everybody is doing it and you're telling me not to do it. Everybody will be looking at me funny. Those kind of mental breakdown children would have because we're not balancing things for them. It say use one hand to, beat a child and use the other hand, draw them closer and, chastise them, tell them the reason why this is not okay, or this is why this is not. Don't just create fear in them. And then they grow up with this fear. They don't have confidence. They are, always hiding away and things like that. So we need to be mindful. There has to be a balance. I scold them, but when I go back and start hugging on them, they know this woman has come again with her trouble, so to say. So there has to be a balance in the way we treat them, in the way we treat our spouses, in the way we treat each other, your colleagues, your business people, whatever it is, there has to be a balance. Otherwise, there'll be problem. And the problem is usually bigger. You need more hands to solve the problem, so to say. So thank you, Tamara, because I really understand. And please, there's some things you have to intentionally do away with. Sometimes, if you're not intentional about it, you find out that you're repeating the same pattern with your children or in your life. So you need to be intentional about putting that balance in place. Emmy Japan, thanks for joining. So I don't know if you're still on the panel, you want to attempt my puzzle. Why did the disciples drive a Honda? Why did the disciples drive a Honda? If we don't get it today, we'll bring it back next week. So if you have any other contribution that is coming to mind, I don't know this person. I'm trying to bring you up, but I'm not sure. Let's see. Thank you all so much for your contribution so far. It's very interesting. It's a very vast topic, and it cuts across every aspect of our lives, relationship, work, our health, If you're the type, you say, I just heard. In fact, I'll tell you a joke. There was many years back, one of the first few times my doctor said you have to lose weight and what have you. I said, what would I do? I went online, a black young lady of this age, what can I do to lose weight and all? When I read through, I just sat down, I was thinking to myself, okay, if I stay away from my African food, maybe that would help me. I was just thinking out, I said, okay, maybe I should do cereal. So I said, for the next 2 weeks, I'm just going to eat cereal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Cereal, only cereal. The first 2-3 days, I thought I was going to pass out. I did that for 2 weeks. I stuck my mind to it. And then after 2 weeks, I only lost 2 kg. I said, at this rate, my enemy would die. I'm like, no way. And one of the things I found out that I lost the body mass because I kind of shrunk, but the weight was still there. I don't know what happened. For the 2 weeks I was eating the cereal, even though I didn't feel like eating it by day 5 or whatever, but I said I must lose this weight. My neck was long, but the weight was just there. I'm like, this didn't work. I went back to my normal way of eating. But imagine for 2 weeks just eating cereal. Is that a balanced meal? No. And after a while, I thought again, that was years again. I thought again, okay, maybe I'll just eat salad. So I went out again buying salad, only salad. For the next 2 weeks, I'm just going to eat salad. The same thing happened. I said, no, this is not a balanced meal. How can I just be eating salad? And of course, it wasn't even doing the job. I said, let me just go back to mine. So it has to be deliberate. It has to be intentional anyway, I think I've shared here before what I had to do. I had to call to my maker. I said, God, and I'm being honest with you guys. I've shared this with whoever cares to listen. I said, God, I've tried in my own wisdom. Nothing happened. And now they're telling me I have to lose 10 kg. How I'm going to do that, I don't know. That's all the salad I've done in the past cereal. Nothing happened. Help me, Lord. You created me. You know what I can do to lose the weight. Help me, Lord. And truly, people out there, I heard in my spirit said, you're technically doing it, but you need to put your mind. That's when I knew that losing weight also has to do with your mind. I said, what is that? Eat your 1 meal a day, your medication, if you have to take any medication, eat whatever you feel like eating, but make sure that 1 meal a day, because first of all, I'm not a breakfast person to start with. So I'm okay. By the time I eat, sometimes like 4, 5, so I'm good. And then you feel peckish, whatever. So when you now feel that peckish, drink soup or have an apple or a pear or something. And brethren, I stuck with that for 6 months. When I feel like eating pounded yam and my spinach, I eat it, and that's my meal for the day. Anything else is soup or, the English chicken soup, or sometimes I drink water, or I just have a pear. I love pear. I'll eat pear, and that's me done for the day. And I did that March till September of last year. And I stepped on that scale. I'm telling you, I don't know what happened. Exactly the 10 kg they say I should lose. I stood on the thing, the 10 kg was gone. In fact, I said, I feel like going to do testimony. I said, God, you created me. I had to seek you, help me to balance this thing, because these doctors are on my neck. And exactly that. So sometimes now I'm even scared to step on it. But when I step on it, it's still there. The 10 kg is gone and it's gone. So that was me, like, this is what I need help. So sometimes in order to balance things in our life, what I'm going there is this. You might need to seek help. For me, I'm a person of faith. This is where I know to seek help. And I got the help. I'm not talking fables here. This thing, if you call my doctor today, they will tell you. Even the doctors will tell, what's the secret? For me, what's the secret? I said, if I told you, or if I tell you, I'm not sure you'll be able to do it. I said, I eat 1 meal a day. The doctor said me, I don't joke with my food. I can't do that. We laughed and that was it. But that was what I did and I lost it. So in everything we do, there has to be a balance. Imagine the days I was just eating cereal, nothing happened. I will lose the weight. My neck will be long like this, but the weight was just there. So until I sought the help and I got it and I tried it for 6 months, I lost it and it was good. And I'm trying to maintain and keep it that way. So yeah, what are you struggling with? What is that thing that you feel you don't know how to balance it? Sit down, put it on paper. Number one, this is what you're struggling. Okay, maybe I'm not spending time enough with my spouse, or I'm overdoing work and all of that. There's always a positive way to it. Okay, you're not spending time with your wife. Why is that? What is taking your time? Write it down. Be honest with yourself. Okay, I overstay at work, or I overstay with friends, or write it down there. If possible, if you're struggling, call your spouse, sit them down. My dear, I've noticed that it's like this relationship, I'm not balancing it well, or this work, I'm not, please help me out. I bet they would be there to help and support you. But sometimes we just feel we have to do it by ourselves, and we struggle. And then it affects our relationship, it affects things. And then when it's so bad, that's when we're now running helter-skelter, as by people will say, for solutions. Don't let it get so bad before we put that balance into it. That's just the essence of what we're talking about today. So I don't know if anybody wants to attempt my puzzle. Yes.
I should try the puzzle.
Okay,
Can you hear me,
so
ma?
go for it.
Yeah. The little one I could just get from that question. Why did disciples drive Honda? Because they were in one accord in the book of Acts 2, verse 1.
Yay! In fact, it's like you spied on my computer because they were in one accord. I said I'll not even buttress it. Acts 2:1. When the day of Pentecost had fully come, they were all with one accord in one place. So that was like Honda Accord. If you know cars very well, you know a Honda is a Honda Accord. There's so many kinds of Honda, but they were in Honda because they were in one accord. Thank Let's find your gift. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Let's find your 2 ice creams. And where is that donut? It's always running away. Thank you so much. Thank you. So I don't have to bring that back next week. So guys, you can see it's a funny one. Why did the disciples drive a Honda? Because they were all in one accord. Thank you so much, Gosen. Thank you for that. So I don't know if you still have 1 or 2 to say. Otherwise, we can just, wrap it up for today. It's been very insightful. At least our attention has been brought to it. As many people on the FY listening, try to check your life. Is it balanced enough? And there's no point being in denial, because if we tend to deny we're going through something, it will create more problems. And we don't want to live a life of problems all the time, especially the ones that have solutions. And not just solutions, solution is in your hands, but you're not just using it. So let's be mindful. Let's put a balance to every aspect of our lives. Yes, I have, but I think it should be another topic. Which one is that, Tamara? Maybe you tapped something before, I may have missed it. You were saying something.
Okay, what I want to say is, maybe it's a topic like, maybe a mother give birth. It's a scenario whereby a mother give birth to her child and abandon the child, and doesn't want anything to do about the child. That the child was unwanted, the child was cursed, and all of that. Maybe at the long end, the mother came back, like trying to make peace with the child. It's just about unforgiveness. I think it can be tagged unforgiveness, something like that.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you for that. I think we're relatively new here. There was a time, if I can check my notes, but I don't have it with me, we talked about forgiveness. I think it was last month, probably early last month sometime, we talked about forgiveness. And it's something, of course, we can bring back because our mindful topics have been prepared already. And who knows? This kind of a thing we're talking about, the balance is when the mother comes back and this child found it in their heart to forgive the mother or the father, whoever it is, there is a balance, because better late than never. You can still have a relationship with that kind of a parent if they come back. We're not perfect. Some of us will make some mistakes when we are young. And then until maybe when we're much older, in our 50s, 60s, before we realize. And of course, lives have been affected. Some children, they never would forgive their parents for abandoning them. Some will forgive, not all, because this is reality of life. You watch it in Nollywood, but when you're talking about reality of life, because these children have gone through a lot. The other day, I was talking with one of my colleagues and he said, imagine this client, they are in their 30s, and when they started their life story from a very young age, they've been sexually molested, and then they left home and they went to another foster home, and those the couple even started another life's molestation, and then in school she was being bullied. It was one disaster after another, and now this person is in their 30s. They feel like they should just leave this earth. You can imagine having gone through that, and now you're barely living life, and these parents are now coming back to say, forgive us. Okay, we'll look after it in our 30s. So not everyone, especially when they don't even acknowledge God and all of that. That's even another topic. So it's hard because that child is going through a lot of pain, a lot of pain. And the number one person this child will blame is the parent. If you knew you were not ready to look after me, why did you bring me into this world? A lot of questions will go through that child's mind. And now they've gone through the teenage age, being abused. Now they're young adults, if I can put it that way. And they still don't even know their left from their right. Their heart is heavy. They just want to end it all and all of the things like that. So you can imagine when such a person comes and say, I can't forgive my parents because of what I've been through. You can't blame them, but you can only admonish them to let go. Maybe some of the pain would, go out of the system as well. Interesting topic. Thank you, Tamara, for that. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Thank you so much for suggesting that. Guys, I don't know. I think we might have to draw the curtain here today. It's been very insightful, very knowledgeable. Thank you all. Let us go back home and reflect on our own lives. Have we put a balance to it? You the type that you love your wife too much. Please don't suffocate your wife with love. Don't suffocate your husband with love. Let them miss you. Let them miss you a bit. You find that they will come. They will come for you. Oh, you're welcome, Nakoko. Thank you so much.
I just have, for me, I just have a few things to, I don't know if it's to ask or to add.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Still. One is, like couples who just got married. Say, for example, you have one person who is outgoing and one person stays indoors. Based on that one that you were saying, I don't know if it was you or somebody else mentioned that one of the guys loves going to watch football all the time. So you were dating this guy, and you know that this guy is always going to watch football at all times. Like you already know that for him, that's everything for him. And you went ahead and you guys got married, and now you guys are married. That becomes a problem for you. I don't think the only person at fault in that place is the person going to watch the football.
No.
Because you already know this is who they were, and you never said anything about it. For me, when you were dating, it was okay for him to go watch football every now and then with his friends.
Yeah.
So I feel like in that aspect, I think it was this guy that left that mentioned that. So in that aspect, if you have a partner, okay. So in that aspect, if you have a partner that is always watching football, maybe you guys were dating. It's all about coming, into an agreement. The same thing, finding the balance. Okay, you like watching football. I don't like watching football, but I love maybe going for a movie. So you just meet in the middle. Okay, these days we know that there are some specific days where when they are playing football, those days are really important to guys. Yeah. Even if you don't like watching football, just because you love the person you're within a relationship with, just go with the person.
Exactly.
Not all the time, but instead of saying, oh, he left me and went with his friend, the question is, did you ask to go with him and he said no? So you can join your partner in doing the things that he loves. Yeah. And they also can join you. That way you both can enjoy each other. You might even find out that you might even love the football more than he does.
Oh,
it's all about, it happens.
Because you didn't try it, exactly.
Because you didn't try. If you don't try, you will never know. Try, give it a try first, and then you can now say, oh, I tried it, I don't like it. But still, if your partner is there and is happy, you can even be present there and be doing something, with your time. But the fact that you're there with your partner and he's having his own time. Because, for example, all right, babe, see you in the morning. For example, now I'm an outgoing person. My husband doesn't. My husband can be in the house for the next 5 years. Me, I just want to be outside. But most African men, when you are like this kind of person, say for example, one is outgoing, especially she likes party, clubs, and all these things, and you get married. The whole mentality in Africa is that if you are married, you don't need to wear short skirt because you are not a married woman. If you are married, you don't need to drink in public. For example, you don't need to drink in public anymore.
Dosen said, I don't love home videos before, but now I love it because of my wife.
Exactly. So if you don't try, you will never know. Exactly. So but then there's this thing in Africa that when you marry, it's like you are a different person. Completely. First, it starts from your dressing to the kind of friends you make to everything. And now, most times, people probably you just have a partner. Maybe your boyfriend didn't like one particular friend. He just don't worry. One day we'll get married. I will get rid of that person. And the moment you get married, be like, okay, now I'm your husband. I want you to stop seeing this person. But why? First of all, you don't even give them a good reason as to why they shouldn't be with that person. Because even if you don't want them to be with that person, there are ways you can go about it. Because if I'm the person that is been friends with this person for God knows when, if I go and just cut this person off because you asked me to, I'm the one looking bad in front of my friend, not you. So give me a good reason as to why we can do this. Communication is very, very important when it comes to balancing things.
It is.
Come in the middle. Okay, I'm going to do this with you on this day. We're going to do that on that day. You find out that you start having a lot of things in common even.
Yeah.
So that for me is very, very important, because people change it drastically. For me, change was one of the reasons I was most scared of getting married. I was like, I don't want to be married, and then somebody will just tell me, I don't want you doing this thing anymore. It's just going to be like, I'm not going to be happy with myself. I'm going to be like somebody else entirely.
Yeah.
And if you're not happy with yourself, even the things around you will be affected negatively.
Oh yes, definitely.
So you need, if you are happy, everything around, even if chaos is going around you, you still make it, every sad moment looks a happy moment. Share people up, be happy. A positive atmosphere is very important when you're happy, because your mood is what, you might just wake up, have a bad dream, and then you start frowning face at everyone around you. So our mood is what affects our people around us.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. I know today is Monday. We talk marriage business on Thursdays. However, we're getting inside because this thing has to, affect our marriages as well, our relationships. So one of the things I always say is the reason why we are not enjoying our marriage, because you and I are in this marriage together, yeah, husband and wife in there. And the reason why they're not enjoying it as they ought to is because both of them are not doing what they're meant to do. Or one of them is not doing what they are meant to do in that relationship. So it's going to affect both of you. One of the things I see somebody tapped on there is open and honest communication. I tell you, Tamara, in my years, I have friends who's been married and divorced. I have friends who've been separated. I have all sorts, really. And some of the things they say, I just find out that these things they've mentioned, I maybe I've gone through it in my relationship as well. And I didn't think divorce was a solution. It wasn't even a thought. Because we sat down to say, come what may, this thing is till Christ will come or till death will do us part. So no matter how bad it gets, we need to sit and talk about. Sometimes it's hard. And I know what I'm saying. It is very hard. This so-called person you say you love each other and all of that, times will come that love will be tested. So love alone cannot just help the situation. And I tell you another thing I've discovered over the years, even with friends and people, spouses can change. Spouses do change, and we don't want to realize that. Sometimes the change is for the best, and your spouse, because it's a new you, they don't know what to do with the new you. So what you get from them is like maybe not support or not what you want, because they don't even know this new you. They don't know how to deal with this new you and how. Sit down and talk and say, look, I'm just overwhelmed by this new you. It's a good you, but I don't know what to do with this new you. It shouldn't change anything. Rather, I should even first start that bond. Sit and talk about whatever is confusing you. And I tell you again, I've seen this happen. Sometimes your spouse do not want to talk about things. Change is inevitable. Not everybody wants to change. Even if God comes down to say, this is not the right way to do, they will tell you this is how they've always done it. Why should they change now? There's certain things, that's why I talk about flexibility when you're talking about balance. For the sake of peace, would you not rather just change for peace to reign? Because you will benefit from it, your spouse will benefit from it. There's time for compromise, there's time for tolerance, there's time for patience, there's time for understanding, and that love is there. I mean, it cuts across mentally, physically, emotionally, all of that. Let's say, for example, I know my husband to be very strong, macho, and then maybe now he's in his 50s or whatever. I see this soft side of him coming. I don't know what to do with it. He's like, my husband is gone. Some will even come and start saying, my husband is gone. I don't know. This person, he's so soft now. He's not this because you're used to this. So change comes, and you have to get your mind with that change. Find the positive in it, especially when it's not something bad that they've changed into. So I mean, that really cannot help. You may not understand it. For me as a woman now, I'm getting older, except I'm in denial. Certain changes in my body that even me, I'm still trying to understand. And I've been asking questions from doctors and things like that. Imagine me, I'm still confused about certain change. Is it my husband I want him to understand when I don't tell him this is the change I'm experiencing and things like that? So you have to sit and talk about things. Sometimes you may have to adjust. It's not palatable. It's not convenient. But for the sake of the fact that you're in this together, I can't imagine I'm hurting, I'm crying, I'm this, and my spouse is there laughing away. That means they don't care. That's the impression I'm going to get. But they're there bringing tissue, holding me. That means they're part of me. So you can't say that, all of a sudden now, my wife is cry. I didn't marry this cry woman. No, come and go to your father's house. I don't know. You can't do that. So there's some changes that are good. It's going to come with life. It's going to come as you're getting older. Certain things I used to do, now I can't do them anymore. Except I want to kill myself, so to say. And I adjust to doing something else. So these are things that helps you to balance life as you grow along with your spouse, with your colleagues. Once upon a time, you're the one always learning. You've learned so much. You've become a guru at that job you didn't even realize. And now your manager said, look, I'm expecting 4 new people tomorrow. You're going to train them. And you'll be like, I don't know. And then you have these years of experience piled up in there. And here comes this man trying to challenge you to help you balance that knowledge in giving it out. And the more you even teach, the more things will come to you, so to say. So sometimes you may have people that will push this balance out from you, within you, because it's there. And some people, no matter how much you try to bring the balance, they just don't see the need for it. So I can imagine how crazy that can get. But in it all, you maintain that balance. And I think it was one of you, Tamara, that said you pray about things. Let God, who is the maker of this person, touch their heart, such that whatever changes that they need to make, that God will open their eyes to make. You don't force change in somebody's throat. You can't change any man. I'm telling you. You cannot change any man. So if you feel, I don't like football, I'll just keep quiet. When I marry him, I will tell him, I don't like that your football, so you better stop. If you love me, you'll not be blackmailing, manipulating your spouse. How about? There will be trouble. There will be fire on the mountain. So just like Tamara said, you have to help create that balance. Say, my dear, when is your next match? We are going together. Me too, I want to go and scream. I want, even if you don't like football, I tell you, like I told you, I've got 4 boys. They all belong to different football teams. Is one day they're like talking. In fact, I just said, me too, from today I'm Arsenal. Me too, I want to be talking the football talking. So I've got a Man City, I've got Man United, I've got Liverpool, I've got Chelsea. Me, Gunga said, I'm Arsenal myself. Of course, my husband. My husband doesn't like football, so he's the referee. So when Arsenal and Man City is playing, me, I'll say, I'll do like this just for the fun of it. What's my business? When I mention to Arsenal player that you will see me turn my back, I run away because I don't know. I just make mouth, but that bond is there. There was a time one of my sons said to me, you're even following this football more than one of them, so to say, because that one is beginning to lose interest in football or something. I said, really? I felt so proud. I said, So I even know about football more than one of you in this is a lie. So that thing, it kind of creates that bond. Come and wake me up tomorrow to say, who was the keeper yesterday in Arsenal's match? You want to finish me? So for life to be good, we have to put in the effort. Life shouldn't be hard. I don't know why we make it so hard for ourselves. Life is tough enough as it is. Let us bring that balance. In our relationships tonight, we can start reflecting about it. Am I bringing the right healthy balance to this relationship? And if you know you're not, call your spouse, call whoever is, even if they're not ready to listen. Just drop one or two. At least they would hear. They might not want to listen. They will go and also think about, this person said this is worth thinking about. And you guys will bond some more, because tomorrow another challenge will come. When you're still yet to balance today's issue, how would you cope with tomorrow's challenge? So, guys, these are my 2 cents for today. Thank you, every single one of you. Nah,
Yeah,
Coco.
I've got something else to add.
Okay, all right. We still
That's
have a
what I
bit
wanted
of.
to also add first time, but then it escaped my mind.
Okay, thank you.
This one, you said relationship is going to be for Thursday. It's also kind of family. And like I said, whenever I come on here to say things, most of them are from personal experiences and from people around me that I've witnessed, things going on with them. So one of this thing balance, like there's a friend of my husband, before that was around last year when I met him, and where we found out that we're having a baby. He started saying so many things, and because of that I was so scared, because I didn't know what to expect of being a mom as a first time mom. So he was like, he was married, and that his relationship broke down because of the baby they had. That's what he told me. So I was like, how so? He said when they had a baby, that the girl was, or is a baby girl, so she was crying a lot. He didn't have to spend time with his partner, and the thing drove them apart. They could not, get over that situation. And then one day the wife told him, just to cut the long story short, wife told him that she was going to visit her family in another country, and then she took the baby, and he was like, okay, see you guys in 2 weeks. And that's how they've been. He's not seeing the girl for almost 3 years now.
Wow.
There was a little baby, not up to 1 year when the mom left, but he's not seen her for 3 years. And now the woman has denied him access to the baby. And I said, there's more to this story. So you can't just say the mother
Yes.
took home and he carried the baby and ran away. And he said, yeah. Then it was later on he started saying that the baby was crying a lot, and then the mom was taking care of the baby, and then she wasn't spending much time with him. Say at the time when he's trying to take care of the baby and the baby is crying, he get frustrated and he start crying as well. So in bottom line, I was hearing that the mother wasn't having a lot of support from him. So she felt like he was alone, so she left. She took the baby and left. If you feel like you're with a partner that you still feel alone, that you carry the burden by yourself, what's the essence of being with that kind of person? Then she left. But what I'm trying to say is that when I got this information, the first one I got, like, oh, the baby came and then he separated the mother and the father. I was so scared. I was like, okay, so now I just got married, not even up to how many days or weeks or whatever. And now I'm expecting a baby. How's life gonna be after having a baby? Because one thing, most of us, like I've seen back then when I was online, I used to do like a live streaming section when I get to talk to people who are single parents. And every time I hear them say, my child will always, especially single mother that wants to go on a date. In this part of the world, it's very common. A lot of single mothers that want to go on a date, yet they want to put that child in front. Like, so now I'm trying to meet you. I'm trying to get to know you, create a space, have a space in your life, and you're always making me feel like I have to compete with that space with your child. If you know you're not fully ready to be committed to a relationship, I would say don't even try. Because I have dated, even when I was single, I've dated a single father, not dated, rather intended to date, let me say. But it never worked out, because I might just have a plan with, yes, we have days that you cannot really control what happens, an emergency, but I cannot be having plans with you today. And then I'm all dressed, I probably cancel my shift and everything. And then at last minute, you are telling me, oh, I'm sorry, my child called. So the mother of my child called and said, my child wants to see me, I'm going there. So what, I know I'm a stranger. Yeah, I know that. But you could have informed me, let me do something useful in my life, yeah? Yeah, I have cancelled plans and everything. You are telling me at last minute, I'm asking, is your child sick? Is something happened? No, just you can go and see him afterwards. So most people always put that children thing in front, and then they are trying to get to know somebody, and then this person also make her sacrifice whatever they were doing to just make her that time to meet you. And then because you don't have a balance,
Yeah.
you don't have a balance between your child, because at the end of the day, your child is going to grow up. In next few years, he's going to grow up and move out of your house and then have his own life. Whereas you are old already.
I don't think they think that far. They don't think that far at that moment.
Yes, I know. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. But it's all about looking for the balance, because you might be coming across good people in your life, but just because you think you're ready, but mentally you think you're ready. Oh, I'm single for long, for 2, 3 years. Let me just get into the relationship. Whereas mentally you're not ready. Now you're dragging somebody into all of those things. So, like, personally now, like I said, having a baby, so I was so worried. I was like, God, what's gonna happen to my relationship? I don't want, yes, because I know I love my child. I don't think when I had my baby, I was telling my husband, I don't think what I feel for you is love, because what I feel for my child is different what I'm feeling for you. Do you get? Because
Yeah.
to be honest, I'm not gonna lie. What I feel for my child is stronger than what I feel for my husband, and I didn't know for once that I was going to have this kind of feelings. Because during my brother shower, they were asking me questions like, "Oh, between Papa and my husband, who is going to do this? Who is going to do this first?" Most people were saying my husband, and I was even raising my hand saying my husband. But to be honest, it's the opposite once I had a baby. Because at that time, I didn't know.
Tamara, let me just cut you for a second there.
Yeah.
The thing is, for single people coming into marriage, there's a transition into marriage. And then when you're together, husband and wife only, you're enjoying life and all, and then you get pregnant and you have the baby. That's another transition,
Yeah.
that marriage that a lot of couples are not mentally prepared for. And the reason why that could break a marriage, I understand it perfectly well, but it shouldn't. That's why you need the help of those who have gone ahead and are married for years and years, that you have around you to ask questions. When you get into any form of transition in your marriage and you don't know how to handle it, trust me, it's not every man. I want to have a baby, but they don't know the night time would come when this child will cry from 2 in the morning till 5 in the morning, and and they expect the woman to do that every single day till that child will come out of that transition as well, or that phase. It's not possible. Some women mentally, they cannot handle it. Then now she say, okay, I'm going for 2 weeks with this baby to my parents or whatever, another country. That's even more dangerous. And now she gets there. She was able to sleep. Her mom looked after the baby. Trust me, 2 weeks is now here. Go home. It's like, do I really want to go back to that? Because this person has not shown that this baby is ours. So mentally, I don't know, I'm just painting one scenario that could have been. And then she's like, I don't think I can go back. This man does not love me enough, because she managed to sleep. Because some women, once they have their baby, sometimes they have postnatal depression.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So it's not all women, but some women, they go into deep postnatal depression, which you don't even want to know. Some of them will not even want to touch that baby at all. And you think, what kind of a mother are you? Trust me, it's beyond her control sometimes. I'm not making excuses. Maybe it's the counselor in me now, because we have to see from everybody's perspective whatever they're claiming, so to say. So we give every client unconditional positive regard, what we call UPR. So you have to understand. It's like you putting yourself in their shoes. What is going on in their mind that has made them not to put that balance? And like you said, the way we are all raised is different, and the way we'll react to different transitions in life is going to be different. And that's why it's very important, at least you know to some level, this person you're marrying, are they empathetic? Are they sympathetic? Are they understanding? When situation come, that's why sometimes you talk about case scenarios while you're dating. Husband, imagine we have this baby. Oh, cry. You're just talking hypothetically, but in a way you're preparing your mind. And then the mama just said, we have to get a nanny. I'm not gonna not sleep. Oh, I love my sleep. He start giving you ideas that this person, this is where they're at. Now you say I do, and now you're in the marriage, you now have a baby, and they tell you this baby is crying and disturbing. You be like, is it not your child? They told you what they can manage. It sounds selfish, Yeah, but like I said, not everybody has the capacity to actually put this balance, and that's why you need help. You might need professional help to say, well, this is your child. This carried this child for 9 months without sleeping and all. Now she's giving birth to this child. The most this man can do is also stay awake. That is a sacrifice of raising that child together. Some people cannot process this. Some people you think, it's like, did I marry a monster? I'm telling you, this is reality. And if they don't talk about things, imagine the man can't take the cry anymore. He leaves, he goes out. And then one woman is rubbing his head for days, he doesn't come back home. And before you know, that marriage is over. So a lot of scenarios can play when couples don't manage transitions in their marriage properly. Balancing things, ask questions. That's why you have your doctors, you have your family, even your parents. If you're so lucky they're still alive, ask them. This is our first child. We don't have a clue. This baby is just crying. Sometimes I remembered when I had my first, is hiccups. I didn't know that there's a certain way you have to rock the child with the back, to make them burp after meal. So my baby would eat and the thing would just hook there and it's so uncomfortable crying until this nurse came to the house and showed me how to rock him. And then we heard the big burp. And this boy slept for hours. Even me, I was going to check, is he still awake? Is he breathing? And all of that. Because I didn't know. So there's so many things we need to ask. We need to find out. I'm telling you, it sounds funny, but I was losing my mind as a first-time mom. Rather than allow that transition to break the fall. And imagine we did our 4 times over. Tamara, I don't know whether you're going to have a football team with your hobby, So things like that, we need to find that balance. It's there. But when we're not intentional about it, we allow problems to overwhelm us. Running away from our problems is not the solution either. There's always a way out, but we just need to know where to look to get help. We need to know where to find that information. Yeah, information is power. Information is power. Even if you don't, nobody's trained to be perfect. We learn, that's why we're here on Inside. We learn from one another. I've learned quite a number of things from everyone that's spoken today. And I want to be, even if it's one thing you've learned from me as well today. So this thing has to be intentional. It has to be intentional. And like I said, you cannot change anyone, but that doesn't mean once you feel that there's a need for change, don't talk about it. Just keep quiet because, say it. Because your words, they might just carry away and rethink and self-reflect and make amends as well. You never can tell. So please, that is why you're there for one another. Neither of you is perfect. But together you can be perfect. Together you can balance life. Together you can be intentional about putting each other first in all that you do and things like that. So it's not left for you. I'm in my own relationship. You're in your own relationship. Whatever works really, but don't be in denial. Put a balance to things. Your spouse doesn't like this. Okay, meet them halfway. You have to like it by force, whether you like it or not. And then invite them over to the things you like. So you cannot compromise with one another. Like I said, it's time to compromise. There's time to be tolerant. That one, then there's time to be sacrificial. It would hurt, but you just have to let it be for peace sake. So guys, thank you so much. We really, really spent our time today, and I'm so grateful. I mean, the angle at which, all of these talks came in today. But overall, like I say, there has to be balance in whatever we do so that we can still enjoy our relationship. If you feel you're not enjoying that relationship, check to see whether you're putting in what you're meant to put in, and maybe you're not just getting back what you want to, what you expect to get back. Talk about this with your spouse. If it's a colleague, you feel you're overworking, they're not putting their weight, don't just go and report them. Speak with them first. Like, this work was supposed to do together. I'm not feeling you pulling your weight or what have you. If you try, and they're not, then you might have to escalate. I understand. But don't just say one time like that, they're not pulling their weight at work. You just went straight and report to the manager, and now they're giving them query or sack letter. No, let's talk about things first. Put a balance to it first. And then, before you can escalate things. So, guys, thank you so much for being here today. I see somebody requesting to come up, but unfortunately, we have to go today. We have to go because I can see the time is really gone. Thank you, Tamara, the two Tamaras. Thank you for your contribution. I really appreciate it. Na Coco, thank you so much for joining us. God sent. Please watch a movie with your wife and give her popcorn whilst you're at it. Thank you so much for your contribution. Mila for Christ, thank you so much if you're still there. God bless you. I really appreciate your joining in today. Till I come your way again on Thursday, when we'll be talking about, I don't even know whether to tell you the topic now. I like to keep it, like a surprise. So we're going to look at another aspect of marriage on Thursday, 8 p.m. UK time on Inside with FunmiRoyal. You don't want to miss this one. It's going to be fire on the mountain. Tamara, please, you don't want to miss it. I won't tell you the topic, but you come and I bet you say, hey, Fumi have brought it again today. So till I come your way on Thursday, remain blessed. And please, guys, always put a balance to every aspect of your life so you can enjoy it whilst we are leaving. Thank you guys so much. Have a lovely, lovely night rest. God bless you. Thank you. Nakoko, I will see you on Thursday. God bless. Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Thank you for liking the live. Thank you for all the giftings. God bless you. Inside. Yeah. Bye, Tamara. See you. My love to your hobby. Thank you, Godson. Please say hi to your say for me. Thank you. Thank you. Good night, everyone.